live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota. 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, Action Jackson with you. Get involved in the Jeff Lotman Compass Realty text inbox. 314-881-TMA5. Get involved by calling in, as it's Doug's last show before he goes to Jackson's parents' place in the Hamptons. And you're going up there for...
I'm going to see Howard Stern and Billy Joel and Christy and some of the folks up there.
Christy
Brinkley. Yeah, she still lives with them.
Really?
Yeah, it's a
great
divorceal there.
She bops in and out from time to time.
She does pop in and out.
Yeah. I'm going to see that crowd just for a few days. They begged me to come up there for so long.
I knew that you'd gotten
I can't
close.
put them off anymore.
So KG and O-Town will be
sorry, we're not on air now. We are.
Oh, Plowsy! Oh!
Well, I recorded a spot with... it's my bad. I recorded a spot with Doug, so I had to take it off a bypass. We needed to have Brown and Crouppen spots when you're gone.
Yeah.
And it was not on air.
Okay.
And I apologize.
No problem.
Well, Doug, they're not happy.
Well, that's
Jeff
fine.
Lotman.
I deserve it. Just bring the hate early, please. Just get it out of the way in the next 2 minutes. We can just move on with our lives.
All right, I'll read it.
What are they saying?
Order.
I saw the hello, and then I got off, and then...
Uh-oh, Plowsy. That's from Gary Pinkel's cell phone etiquette. Hello, London. Signed Smitty. That's from Gabe from the Cube Farm.
Gotcha.
Fellas, that's from Sweet Kai. Steven Time says we can't hear anyone talking. Hello, nurse.
But 2 minutes feels like 10 minutes. Like it was like a minute and a half, but that probably feels like 10 minutes for listeners, which I understand. I'm not blaming anyone but myself. I recorded a spot with Doug, forgot to take it out of bypass back to on air.
Yeah.
It was a rare occasion that I would have to record a spot before the show.
Not a big deal.
And it's not a... Yeah. Well, it is a deal. It's not a big deal.
See, that last text should have been the ones people sent in. Can't hear you. That's all we need to know. Oh, okay. Mayday, hello, Plowsy.
I think it's well-deserved. I think every one of those texts is well-deserved.
All you got to do is say, you guys aren't on the air. Thank you. We're back
I love my listeners, and they want us on air, and I respect that.
Yeah.
It's very little to ask of the listeners. And so I deserve that hate. But we'll move on past it.
We will. This is like when we, what was the new, guess the new title sponsor, and it broke the text inbox. Doug, they're coming in so fast.
It was a minute and a half. I mean, it was 7:09 when we got back. I mean,
it's like the show starts and they've all got their hands on the home row of the keyboard. And if anything goes wrong, they just can't wait to fire off.
But that's why we've been on for, 20 years or whatever it is, man?
19 years in 9 months.
This dedication on the text line is the reason why this show can, obviously in the talent, sitting across the dais from me.
You would have to have your hands on the keyboard ready to fire off messages that quick.
Doug, that's funny.
Because if you're in the car, you're not going to do that.
No.
If you're just home getting ready for work, got YouTube on or something, you don't have your hands on the home row.
It's 7:07. It's a tradition for these people.
They're at their home offices, their desk at their home.
Home office, Sioux City, Iowa.
Just sitting there, just waiting.
I love it though. Like I said, this is the part of the time to where hate is definitely welcome.
I mean, they're still coming. I mean, it's been 3 minutes since this occurred. Earth to TMA, Joshy Tuna, well-oiled machine, boys.
See, I like
they're just coming in.
Yeah, those are the guys that were in the shower with the radio on and couldn't hear it, and then jumped out of the shower, toweled off to get to the computer. You're not on.
Probably.
I hope they're okay.
Oh, look, they just keep coming in.
We're on air.
I know.
Would you ever think to do that if you were listening to a radio show and it wasn't on for 30 seconds or so?
But we can't.
Would you run to your computer and fire off a message?
We can't put ourselves in the listener's shoes.
No, I would change the channel to see if the other station was working.
Yeah, usually that's what you would do. Is it something wrong with my radio?
Oh, they're okay. Then you go back and we're back on the air.
Or you hang with it for a while just to see what kind of disaster is going on there.
Like they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Junior the Juice Man says this is the only radio show in the history of radio that routinely opens with dead air. It's great. That's from Junior the Juice Man.
Look, the board situation was different, so I wasn't going to say it rarely happened, but I forgot we did have the dead board
Yeah.
Was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Something like that.
So that one's pretty recent. For dead air, that's pretty recent.
It'd be nice if we could every once in a while have a text line dead air.
Yeah, that would be
You want to shut it down?
No, just every once in a while.
just every once in
I
a
would have
while.
liked one text that said, "You guys are on the air." Perfect.
Caller Ellen says I would bet a number of them are voice texting, as I
Yeah.
am now.
Oh, I could.
Doug, there you go. Voice texting, not necessarily typing.
Okay.
With little pincers. I have little pincers. I can barely hold a phone. My
I
fingers
know.
are so
yeah.
tiny.
Yeah, like needle nose pliers.
Is that one of the most laziest things ever invented? That you don't even have to type anymore. You just talk.
Well, it's good
I
if you're in
think
the
it's-
car.
Yeah,
It's great. That's how I text when I'm in the car.
It's one of those things where I never use, but it is a great invention.
Ellen, are you in the car?
Text me.
Until you
I'll
get to where
talk
you're
dirty
going.
to you.
Sometimes it's hard for me to hit the right letters when I type on the phone. I'm constant. If I type out an email, it takes me forever.
You
'cause
have
I'm-
pincers, bro?
I have big fat thumbs.
You
It
know
takes me forever to get a decent message typed. If I talk it usually goes in. If you talk slow and clear, it'll almost always do it perfectly.
You know what happened to my phone? I did an update last week, and typically I'll always misspell something, but it'll always revert back to what I was spell. It doesn't like my spell check is like back to zero. Like it will send like just jumbled words without switching them itself. So
Yeah.
I have a tough time actually texting now. Because I have to pay attention more, I guess
Yeah.
I'd say. But after that update, I don't have like spell check, or I don't have like switching of the words.
You know, I found out a couple times I tried to type the word might, M-I-G-H-T, and the spell corrected to kinky. I said, what in the hell is that?
Ooh, you're a bad boy.
You might, but it is, Doug, what you kind of type a lot. You might type in.
I
kinky
never
quite a
type in
bit.
kinky. But when I type in might,
Hello, I'm Prudence. Today's letter is about a kinky mom.
I don't know what that is.
That's wonderful.
I have
I meant to
no
say,
idea
she
what
meant
that
to
is.
say might.
That's the lady from the. Mind if I join you? I
Same
think-
voice?
Is it?
I don't
sounds like-
think so.
Really?
I'm gonna call.
It sounds like this. I didn't put it in there.
No, it says Prudence.
Oh,
So I don't know who that was, but I just typed in kinky, and that was a great one.
we used to do a Dear Prudence.
May I join you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a younger woman right there who's
Yeah.
going to go in for the MFF.
If your full name is Prudence, do they call you Prude?
Prudy, I think we used to call her when we used to play those.
Prudy?
Yeah.
What about dense? You have the last. You have the second half.
I guess.
Jake and Kirkwood's shoving all in early on. I would shove all in that Iggy doesn't like voice to text because he doesn't know how to do it. That's from Jake and Kirkwood.
Oh, no.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, come on.
Jake, double up your stack.
You don't know how to do voice to text?
I don't think I have it on my phone.
Oh, of course you do.
I don't have an iPhone.
I'm sure they've all got voice to text at this point.
But I don't dislike it. I just think it's another thing that makes us lazier.
Well, it's just a helpful tool.
Yeah, if you're in the car, I get it.
You just hit the microphone, and the microphone pops up, and then you start talking, and then you hit the microphone again, and it stops.
I don't know where the microphone is.
Do you have any formal education?
Read this dumbass text.
I'm an idiot when it comes to technical stuff.
Well, we'll show you how to voice text here in the next break.
Yeah.
All right? It'll be a nice skill to learn.
You know,
today.
technology and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know stuff.
Guys, at assistant to Friday's QFTA, can we please get a TMA breakdown of Jackson's Rec League Draymond Green episodes? If you already discussed this, I'll grab a glass of bleach. Stay cute, fellas. Doug, that's Gary Pinkel's cell phone etiquette. Yeah, kind of a surprising reveal on the podcast, the Tim McKernan Show podcast, in which Jackson revealed that he gets heated with officials and opponents during his rec league basketball games
No.
and was fresh off a game the previous evening in which he went at it with an official 2 different times.
Oh,
Definitely once last week where it was just a brutal call. Like I said, embarrassment immediately afterwards. And it's not like I'm like screaming and cussing at them because I would get teed up. I haven't been teed up. But I'll voice my opinion on what happened. And I don't know, I feel like this guy kind of has it out for me.
what kind of things do you say? Come on, Zebra, call them both ways?
There's like ways of being respectful when you do it. Like you hand them the basketball, you don't throw it at them. You hand them the basketball and you say, I just disagree. Like I went up, he fouled me. He was like, then they give their piece and you turn, you don't say anything else after and you just turn and walk away. But I'm still mad. And jawing with opponents is one of my favorite things. So I'm not embarrassed about.
Trash talker, are you?
not necessarily trash talker, but usually it's pretty cordial unless they start saying something. Then they'll talk back.
I can see Jackson, like, when you're playing tight D, a guy misses a shot, and you go, nice shot. Those subtle jab that gets your game mentally
It's kind of
off
the Andrew
correctly.
Luck thing, Paul, kind of what you're saying, where you're like, keep putting it up, man. Keep putting it up. It's
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah, you're good.
And then when you hit a wet jumper, do you go, all day, all day, all day?
No, but my favorite thing to do is if I foul somebody, air quotes foul, I don't think it's a foul, and they miss the front end of a free throw.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie.
Oh. It's hard enough to find officials to work in any basketball league because it's so hard to do and so thankless, and people yell at you all the time. I can't imagine how difficult it is to find rec league basketball officials.
And trust me, these two guys do the whole league every Thursday night. So I go up afterwards and I apologize if I say something too much, and I always thank them, and I make a point to do so.
Well,
but
that's
sometimes during the game, I'll get a little. It's natural. Your adrenaline's going.
I guess. But without them, you have no game.
100%.
Who pays them?
The league.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not like it's a free league. Yeah, pay. So part of that money goes to the refs.
Yeah. That is hard. Basketball's hard.
Oh, it's a brutal sport to officiate. Trust me, I get it. It's just sometimes you feel you're in the heat of the game, and you're just like, there's no way you're not going to call that a foul.
Come on, Zebra. He's giving him the business out there.
Right. He's camping in the lane. He's pitching a tent.
Does Jackson wear tearaway pants and a warm-up top pregame? That's from Sex.
No, funny though.
When I was playing
I'm
basketball,
glad to see Sex back. I don't know where Sex went.
Yeah, boy, it has been a minute.
in my youth, tearaway pants and the Nike Shocks were it. That was it. That was like the attire for every basketball team in our entire Mid-Illini conference.
When you could tear away the pants when you're getting up off the bench,
Oh.
that said, I'm ready and I'm going in.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You've done it. You've angered me. And I'm coming in.
I love that era. We'll never have those pants again. They were just watching basketball from like the early 2000s, like the baggy, like Greg McNamara from so Syracuse teams with Melo, and oh my gosh. Now everything is like really high with the tights.
It's coming back.
Completely different.
And then if you put them back on, do you have to button them back up again?
I guess.
That's kind of
The buttoning.
Hassle.
It is a hassle.
a
But
easier
worth
just
it.
to have pull-ons and pull-offs.
My day, we didn't have warm-up pants. Just
Why do you
shorts.
need them? Is it that cold in that
We didn't
area?
even have
couldn't-
basketball,
we
right?
couldn't
It wasn't
afford
even
pants.
invented.
Pants would have been wonderful. We were all bottomless and happy with it.
Pants. They barely had shorts. They had nuts hanging out of them.
You had nuts. We couldn't afford nuts.
Well, you're nuts. I mean, balls, testicles.
May I know the name of this rec league? Get on an opposing team for one game and go enforcer mode on Piddles if he tries to go to the rack. That's from Hall of Famer Carlos Spicy Wiener.
I won't give the name of the league, but
Why not?
Because you don't want to go up against
I
Carlos
would-
Spicy Wiener.
I don't want to, because I've said this ref gave me some bad calls. I don't want. They're really good guys, and I don't want to. Like I said,
You don't want people to come out and watch you?
It's probably
You
not.
want to go to Jackson's rec league game tonight?
No,
And I'm
thanks.
so busy.
And also,
So very
Carlos Spicy
busy.
Wiener, I would cook you, so that's not.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Next challenge for Jackson. 101 against Spicy Wiener.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
So you
Yeah,
can
that'd be
go
fun.
enforcer mode. You got to stay in front of me, though.
Did you take a girl last night?
Huh?
Did your girl watch you last night?
I didn't play last night. This was we were talking from Friday's.
This was Friday.
Oh,
Yeah. Gary
Friday's
Pinkel's
gift,
cell
yeah.
phone etiquette really wanted to revisit this.
Yeah. 4 days. Yeah, a week late. Thank you.
Jackson, we will be doing QFTA for the first time since Friday.
Yes, sir.
Today. Doug, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. So TMA, Balloon Party, Jeremy Rutherford coming up at 9 o'clock with the great Mark Hanna sponsoring him as the Blues win another one last night. Doug, that was a great win. And
They lost.
Okay, I got a
4-2.
different box score then. And then we'll do QFTA. I guess, do we have a sound story in studio today? Can we go right after Balloon
I
Party?
don't think we have a sound
All right,
story.
there we go. So 11:25, 11:30. Send your emails in. Questions, comments, erotic stories, anything works. Tim McKernan at InsideSTL.com. The Tim McKernan Show podcast. Send your texts in for the Jeff Lotman Compass Realty text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. And as I said, Mark Hanna presents Jeremy Rutherford coming up at 9 o'clock, plus the Munganess Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. There's your captain's log. Jackson, tell me about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. He's a wonderful gentleman, is what I would say.
He is a wonderful gentleman. You know, you talk about sometimes me getting a little bent out of shape. That's not how Mark Hanna is. Cool, calm, and collected. Very level-headed guy, and that's someone I know I want in my corner when it comes to something as important as my financial future. You know, we the individuals, we the clients, might get up and down like Doug always talks about with the stock market. You might get nervous about certain variables in your life, but having that guy who's super level-headed, super calm, and conveys his message so well is so important. You always feel better getting off the phone with Mark Hanna than getting on the phone, and to me, that is worth everything. Planning for your financial future is so important. So getting someone who knows what they're doing in your corner is imperative. That's why I love working with Mark Hanna, and that's why you love working with Mark Hanna.
314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. Munganast is the sponsor of the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown coming your way today. And the 7 o'clock hour here on TMA, Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. You're looking for a new car? You're looking for a pre-owned car? Fine. You can go shopping right now, stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. And if you have any questions, any comments, any requests for the great people at Munganast, St. Louis Acura and Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, just text this secret number for our listeners.
What's that number?
314-252-0029. Now you're talking with Jamie Burkhardt and Clayton Patterson and Peter Munganast. And if it's in the service department, Ryan Seiberg, all of the wonderful people at Munganast, St. Louis Acura and Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Doug, what is the lead today? Is it the Doggies? Is it the Blues? Got a lot of stuff going on in St. Louis sports right now, and 2 victories last night for the local club, so fun to see.
No, they both lost, Tim.
Okay, I got to get different notes.
Doggies lost 1-0.
It's probably weather.
How about that?
Weather's the lead?
Well, went from 84 to 18 wind chill
Yeah,
in
that's
a
nice.
span of 12 hours.
Well, we'll bounce back from this.
Hey, well, today and then tomorrow back up to 50 and then 60s
that right?
and 70s.
Today gets up to 50?
No, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it right now. After today, winter's over.
Oh, it might
Didn't
be
you do this
early
a couple
for
weeks
that.
ago?
Yeah.
So even if you're right, you can't technically be right though in these situations.
Well, I'll tell you, though, Iggy, I'm looking at the 10-day forecast
Is
on
it
my
50s?
phone. I got 50. Oh, better than that, Plowhawk.
Wow.
6 of the 10 days highs in either the 60s or 70s. And the 3 of the 4 bad days are the next 3 days.
Yeah,
One
50s.
day next week, and it's 57. Everything else is 60s and 70s. 74 on Sunday, Doug. Let's go have an orgy.
I think we may have had the best fall and winter that I can remember in my lifetime.
What?
I think so. I can't remember it being. I mean, the average temperature's got to be close to 50 for the
We
entire
hit-
winter.
The
The
fall
first
was
ti-
perfect.
First time since I lived in St. Louis, we hit a record. Wasn't that the other day? I was 81.
I think it probably.
That
set
was literally a
record
day
yesterday.
record in St. Louis. That's
I
pretty
said
crazy.
I said 84 yesterday, and I think it was 84. The weatherman said 79. I said, no, it'll be higher than that.
But you were right and they were wrong again.
Oh, of course. And I
Yeah.
think yesterday would have been a record if it was 84.
But it wasn't, so it
No.
wasn't a record, so
It
you
should
weren't
have been.
right.
I got it at 84. I don't know what they're going to
But you're just guessing.
finagle theirs. No, I saw
That's
that.
right,
I
that's
saw
right.
the Maryland Heights at one point was 84 degrees yesterday in Maryland Heights. In a 12-hour span, I went from windows open to, it's a little stuffy in here, air conditioning on to heat in a span of 12 hours.
Yeah.
Thanks to Design Air, everything worked perfectly.
This kind of thing happens in Denver a lot. You ever been out there where the weather changes just as drastically
Oh, my
as
God,
it
yeah.
possibly can?
Doug, 2001, Blues and Avalanche, the Western Conference Final. Joe Sakic in overtime sends the Avs to the Stanley Cup Final, where they reward Ray Bourque for a Jim Dandy of a career after he was acquired from the Bruins. We were driving in from the airport, which is what, like 3 minutes away from downtown
No,
Denver?
it's about an hour. It's a ways out there.
And it was hotter than the fires of hell, and we get to downtown Denver, and it's a blizzard. Just at the time we go from the
Yeah.
airport, I go, what in the
You
hell
can go from
happens out
summer to
here?
the dead of winter in a couple of hours out there.
It's like that in Reno. When I lived in Reno, granted, I lived there for like 3.5 months. But at nighttime, because you're close to the mountains and that, it can get down into the high 20s. And then today it's like 75 degrees.
You know, on non-Midwestern talk shows, they don't discuss the weather unless there's like an emergency. It's a daily topic for you, jamokes.
Oh,
Doug, that's from Nate in Tallahassee.
he called us a jamoke.
Well, we know you live in Florida. Good for you. And it gets cold in Tallahassee, so don't brag about being in the warm weather.
Does it get colder?
Well, colder than other parts of Florida.
Yes.
Yeah. Colder than South Florida for sure. Well, that's nice information to have in our back pocket.
Yep. Nice to have an ace of spades in the back pocket. Had to use heated car seats on the way to work. Had to use cooled car seats on the way home. That's from the total package.
I suppose of all the major markets, television markets at least, weather in St. Louis would be about maybe the least important of any other major town, I would think.
Well, you would think so, unless you listen to the forked stations. They think it's the most important.
It's not like we're Sunbelt, where we got a bunch of people on vacation here, or tourism is dependent upon our weather. It's not like we're hoping for snow in the mountains. It's not like we have really drastic weather like they have way up north or way down south. We have really middle-of-the-road, average-type weather. Never get a hurricane.
Yeah, there's some places that actually depend on the forecast because of... I mean, when I went to Gatlinburg, I don't know how these people live in these houses. We rented a house up in the mountains. If it snows, I don't know how these people get home. You can't get up these roads.
Well, they're already home.
But I mean, you got to leave at some point. If you have to go to the store or whatever, you're going to town. How do you get back? You can't get down or up those things.
No, they probably don't. They probably stay in their house for.
Who would live
days.
there? And I mean, they get snow in Tennessee.
Jackson spent quite a bit of time in the cabins up there.
That's all right. I assume they winterize the hell out of their whips.
Yeah, probably.
Doug, the reluctant cuck, is not happy with your observation on the Denver airport. The Denver airport's 23 minutes from Coors Field. Why does everyone pretend it's so far away from downtown?
It feels like it takes forever to get there, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. It's like it feels like it's super far away from like the rest of Denver.
Same with Kansas City's. Now, I'm sure it's not an hour away, but it's every bit of a half hour away, isn't it?
I don't think I've ever flown into Kansas City.
It's a ways up there.
And I know they have a brand new airport.
Yeah, it's a ways north.
I just hope Licks was able to make it out of town for his much-deserved vacay. That's from KG and O-Town.
Yeah, well, he's still around here somewhere.
A taxi ride from Denver Airport to Denver downtown takes approximately 25 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic.
Yeah,
I-70.
I guess. Seems longer than that.
I guess it depends on where you're going. In Denver's
Yeah.
not like a very small city. It's pretty big.
And it could be that thing where when you're not from a city, it seems like you've driven a long way when you drive 20 minutes, 25 minutes. When you live in St. Louis, you drive 20 minutes, you don't think anything of it.
Right.
Yeah, how long do you think it takes from the airport to downtown St. Louis? About 15, 20 minutes?
I think a lot of people just slow down to enjoy the scenery on
They get out and walk
70
around.
as they make their way
Yeah, there's so much to see on the way.
down. Doug, so the Blues lose last night to the Jets as they begin a gauntlet here with, I guess you could say the Red Wings, but certainly the Jets and Oilers back-to-back. They will be in Alberta tonight as they try to stave off Connor McDavid's advances.
Yeah.
And then back to St. Louis to take on the Wild, and then they just hang out in the Northeast for a while. I think it's the Flyers, the Islanders, Devils, Rangers, and Bruins. Dante's Inferno is upon us, and perhaps the best-case scenario, Buchnevich scores another goal last night, ripening him up for the picking here over the next 9 days, in which hopefully the Blues ship him out, from my perspective, as it's full-on sell mode. 5 games ago, they were in a position to go up 6 points on the Nashville Predators, and guess what they find themselves when they wake up this morning getting ready to take on Connor McDavid? 6 points back of the Nashville Predators. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when you're a wild card hunting in the NHL.
It just kind of all fell apart. They were going so well. You're thinking, well, maybe this team's got a shot. Maybe they could steal one in the playoffs. And now you're thinking, nope, not going to happen. And since it's happened right here by the trade deadline, I'm sure they've got an itchy trigger finger now to try to unload some.
I think Armstrong already did, and now it just makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Saw an article last night I was reading on ESPN in which they were proposing what they thought were the perfect trades, and they thought Buchnevich to Las Vegas would be the one that makes the most sense for the Blues to make. A number of trades, and he was proposing. But with regard to Buchnevich, that would be the one that would make the most sense, he thought, considering Mark Stone is out, Doug, with a lacerated spleen.
No, that sounds painful.
So, looks like
How does it get lacerated? Because that's inside of you.
can we have any nurses call in?
It's probably the gerbil.
Do you think there's a gerbil in
Forgot
there?
to take it out pregame.
Would that mean
like
a
that.
bone cut it? Like a rib bone or something got in there and lacerated the spleen?
That's a good question. Questions we can't answer.
No. Physician, call in.
63690.
You can do without your spleen, though, right? You can live without a spleen.
Caused by a blow to the left upper stomach or left lower chest during a sporting accident, fist fight, or car crash.
Fist fight.
It's basically a ruptured, like that lacerated is ruptured.
Okay.
You can survive without it, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
It just makes you, it hurts your immune system, right?
Yeah.
Buchnevich is listed as the second most desired forward in ESPN's article this morning on ranking the trade deadline players who are most likely available. And then it gets into whether or not Jake Guentzel's available with the Penguins, and that is currently being debated in Pittsburgh as to whether or not they will sign him to an extension or not. If he is signed to an extension, or if they decide not to move him, then theoretically Buchnevich is the most desired player, and part of that, I think, is A, he's 28, but B, he would be under control for next year as well. So that is something to monitor. And then, of course, Jordan Kyrou, although I don't know if that would happen before March 8th or not. Theoretically, if you could clear the cap space with Kyrou and you really did like Buchnevich, then you could use that to keep Buchnevich if you were to trade Kyrou. I don't know how likely that part is between now and March 8th. But either way, the blue spiral here over the last 10 days is making it easier for Doug Armstrong to make these moves.
Lost 4 out of 6. Not good here at the playoff push.
He's got more goals than McDavid.
Who does, Buchnevich?
Yeah.
How many has he got?
I don't know.
How can you make that claim?
23, 22, 24, something like that. McDavid's got 20, 21. He's got
Well,
like
we should probably check to make sure of that.
he's got like 100 assists though. But
Iggy is accurate.
Jesus.
Our boy Pavel has 23 goals. Connor McDavid, 21.
Yeah.
there you
There
go.
you go, Doug. Who'd you rather have?
I picked McDavid first overall in fantasy hockey draft, and I sit in like 10th place because of it. He's not had the year he had last
Hold
year.
him accountable.
You had 60-some-odd last year, and this year you're behind Bruce Navich in goals scored. Pick it up, McDavid. Pick it up. I expect more than that from a first overall pick. First you're hurt for a while, you're lollygagging, then you come back, and you cannot put the orb in the onion bag. I'm tired of it.
Orb in the onion bag. Never heard that one. Well, if you're going to try to trade him, just say, hey, he's got more goals than McDavid.
Yeah, so he's worth more. I saw some of those proposed trades, and it sounded like the Blues would get a lot in
I'm
return.
telling you.
Like first-round picks and
Yep.
an NHL player on top of that, and yeah, you got to do that. And they only gave up Sammy Blais to get him.
I know. That was a Jim Dandy.
It really was. Yeah, I guess you got to do it now and rebuild because it looks like you're going nowhere. Even if you do squeak into the playoffs, you're going nowhere.
For the record, the trade, this was written by the ESPN staff involving Buchnevich, that they'd like to see. The Blues would get a first-rounder in 24, a second-rounder in 25, and then a couple of NHL players right now. Do you like this, Doug? The scuttlebutt
I don't mind it, yeah.
is that Armstrong wants a return for Buchnevich that rivals what the Canucks traded to Calgary for Elias Lindholm. The Knights don't have a roster player like Andrei Kuzmensko. They'd want to give up here, so they'd have to be a package of futures. But hey, first round, second rounder, and a couple of NHL players.
Yeah. I
all
think
day
you'd take that.
long.
Yeah.
All day long.
The only problem with getting the draft picks in hockey is they're so darn young. Some of them are still in college. And so it's
Jimmy Snipes.
Jimmy Snipes.
It's not like getting a first rounder in the NFL or the NBA where you know that guy's going to be a prominent player the next year. You're looking at 2 or 3 years down the road minimum in most cases.
Yeah, Dvorsky he's a ways away from probably being NHL ready.
Thanks, Doug. McJesus is going to light it up tonight. That's from Mr. Siders.
Well, he
You
might.
think your pep talk is going to be like Herb Brooks?
I hope he does because I'm in desperate shape.
They should try to move Krug with Bucci.
You get less.
Yeah, but then you get to unload that too.
Yeah, true.
And maybe Krug would be more on board with going to if Vegas is the team. And I don't know I know you have Vegas's defensive pairings in front of you.
Well, they got Petrangelo, they got Barbashev. Don't they have another Blues player, former Blues player too?
Got a couple of rear guards.
Barbashev, of course, still playing center, but he could convert to a defenseman. But if you were to trade Buchnevich, maybe you say, hey, here's the deal. You could maybe take Torrey Krug too. And then, oh my.
wow.
God, I would like that.
I haven't checked Vegas roster lately,
Right.
but if I remember right, they got McNabb on defense, and
Yeah, I do, Donovan.
Martinez, and
Tino.
Haig, Korzak.
And Haig was the president for a brief time
Yeah.
in the
Why don't you go up and-
1980s.
Let's go ahead and hold your phone up to the camera.
White
there.
Cloud plays a little bit of defense.
Dude,
I like
They
that
haven't got
name.
much out of Cormier.
I'm looking.
Real Cormier was with the Cardinals in, what is
Yeah.
that, 95?
Miromanov played just a few games. He had just a cup of coffee. Those are basically your rear guard. That's just off the top of my head.
Dude,
Timmy.
Torrey Krug has had his worst years as a St. Louis Blue. I'm looking at all of his years in Boston and in St. Louis. It's amazing the drop off that dude has had.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, the
Oh.
teams he was on in Boston are a lot better than the team he came to in St. Louis.
100%.
It was right after they won the Cup, but they still weren't as good.
Well, I mean, immediately they lost the captain, who
Yeah.
was the cornerstone of the defense.
Yeah.
That's the moment, Doug. That's for your
Yeah.
30 for 30.
And those Boston teams got it just as good without him. They had a couple big years.
When
They
you, had
didn't win the Cup, but they were right at the top of the standings all year, weren't they?
when you had the expansion year, when you had Seattle and Vegas, and you had to make players available, if they pick that player, do they have to pay the entire salary, or do the team have to help with some of the salary? Just say, for instance, say there's a expansion team next year, and the Blues leave Cairo unprotected, and they select him. Do they got to pay that entire salary?
I'm sure they would, yeah. You're taking his contract.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes they put high-salaried people on there who are veterans because they think no one's going to take this guy because he makes too much money.
Bruins have lost 3 in a row, and former Blues coach Jimmy Montgomery,
Oh,
who had a hell of a regular season last year, is dealing with a situation up there, calling out the Bruins for not having the right attitude after the team blew a third-period lead against the Kraken 2 nights ago, and then had a player benched after missing a team meeting a couple of days ago. So some hell is breaking loose. Doug, that was Bruins defenseman Derek Forbort, and you've always been high on his play, really like his play on the power play.
I like his play on the half boards, but I don't like his punctuality because sometimes you'll have a team meeting, he just flat won't show up. And when that happens, I think you need to bench him. It sounds like that's just what they've done.
Maybe he had car problems.
Well, then you call. You call and say, I have car problems.
Maybe he did.
Well, if he did, I don't suppose he'd be in trouble.
You know. Jimmy Montgomery's laying the hammer down.
I think anyone would understand as, hey, I was on my way. I got in a
I
car
laugh
wreck.
every time you do that.
Okay, hope you're okay. We'll see you soon.
Because it's real. I mean, that's what goes on.
I know. It's just,
And then he starts bouncing on the chair.
I just picture Vital. Let me tell you.
Guys, get that Kachuk fellow. Yeah, there's talk of Brady Kachuk being available
Oh, really?
out of Ottawa.
He'd be a nice cornerstone.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Dumbest question ever. Why would a team have to give up a player to an expansion and pay the salary? Seriously, go back to your jerk dome. That's from the
Oh,
Orson Woods
gosh.
Wacko. There's a dome?
That's why I asked the question, because I wasn't sure. And maybe that's because, look, we want to get rid of this guy. You know, a lot of teams trade guys and say, we'll pick up a half their salary or something. So you don't want to hamstring an expansion team, but we want some good players on our team. Okay, well, you got to pick up a third of the salary if they take somebody over $8 million a year. So I don't know the rules. That's why I asked the question. So it wasn't a dumb question.
Well, it'd be a really bad deal if you lost your players and still had to pay for them.
Yeah, but you still get rid of that guy. You're saving, it's $8 million. You got to pay a third. You're still saving almost $6 million a
No,
year.
but the expansion team, they have to play by the salary cap rules as well.
But I didn't know the rules. That's why I asked the question.
Okay.
Sorry that I bothered you, Texter.
No, we're not.
Orson Woods
bothered by
Wacko. Hey guys, remember last week when someone texted in about an ex of theirs pegging their boyfriend? I've got the whole scoop. Thanks. That's from Caleb Mandrake's stepdad. Doug, what is that?
it. I don't know.
I don't recall that, but I
No,
guess
I
it's
don't
possible.
No, we don't care.
Okay. Caleb Mandrick's stepdad, if you'd like, you can call in on this pegging story. Jackson, do you remember a pegging story?
Not at all.
Okay.
I remember us.
Maybe we talked about it on Balloon Party.
I remember us discussing who the hell Caleb Mandrake was.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Still not positive. And who his stepdad is. Seems unimportant, but
Well,
either
I
way.
think he's on hold now. Caleb Mandrick's stepdad,
Yeah.
Is he on hold?
636-9004 TMA. That Bruins player was late because 6 minutes wasn't enough time to unwind and decompress from mean texts and have a cigarette. Rumor has it Monty was thinking about locking the door behind him. That's from KG in O-Town, who will be here tomorrow when Doug goes to Billy Joel's place.
Yeah, I'm going to stay there a couple nights. And I may see, I don't know, I may stop by and see Bezos while I'm up there.
Now, what do you think of his new song in the music video?
I heard his new song on the Grammys.
Yeah, he performed it at the end of the Grammys.
Yeah, it sounded a lot like what he has always cranked out.
But he hasn't done a new song in 30 years. And then the
Yeah.
music video is incredible. Has anybody
Yeah.
seen the music video?
I have not. Mm-mm.
Are you going to see him?
It's on my birthday, and I'm hoping for an orgy.
Well, you could get it at Busch
At the
Stadium.
concert?
Probably wouldn't be where I'd be looking, be honest with you. Yeah, September 27th, everyone knows it's my birthday. Billy Joel and Sting, September 28th and 29th, Evolution Fest. I mean, it could just be and I think Missouri is off then, or they're playing Vanderbilt, I think.
My sister and brother-in-law went the other night in Orlando. Said it's tremendous.
Oh, is that right? Was he working with Sting or with Stevie Nicks? Okay. Yeah, that music video, the AI is it's incredible to see. You don't know it. It's, in point being, I can't remember. I feel like I was watching. Might have been Stern interviewing Billy Joel, as a matter of fact. Ironically, coincidentally, would that be ironic or coincidental?
I think coincidentally.
In which whoever was being interviewed said most of the time, once you are 40, you are expected to not play new material at a concert, and people will get irritated with you if you do. You are there to do everything that you did from either your teens or your 20s to about 40, and then if you start writing new stuff and play it, people get irritated. But in this case, he actually has a song that has gained traction, which is very rare for somebody after 40, much less after 70.
Yeah.
And the music video is
Well, the new
ridiculous
stuff.
with the AI.
The new stuff has to be very good and popular. Because when I go to a concert, I want to hear the songs that made these people stars. I want to hear the old familiar hits.
Yeah, the old people do that. I mean, the newer bands, they got hits, but if they got a new album out, that's usually the reason they're touring, is to promote the new album. So you're going to get... When I saw The Cure, they did 5 songs from a new album that's not even released yet. And 2
My whole
of them, I
thing
like
is-
3 of them were very boring, so...
But you're popular because of those songs. If you hate playing them, sorry, you made them.
Yeah.
I think people paid money for your album, downloaded your music on Spotify, came to the show, not to hear you work out some kinks on your new album that's coming out in 4 months. Sorry, I
Right.
don't want to hear that.
I want to hear the hits.
I'll hear it when it comes out, but right now I want to hear some bangers.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, it's usually the reason, unless you're the Stones or somebody like that, you're playing all your hits because you don't have a new album out. But most of these bands tour when they have a new album out to promote it. Paramore was here. They played like 5 songs off the new album.
Well, you need, 20, 25 songs to do a tour? To a concert? You need about 20 songs, probably? And you figure most artists, if they're lucky, have had 4 or 5 hits. And so you're hearing quite a few songs that maybe you don't know or maybe not heard before or you don't care that much for.
I think Billy Joel, he's got so many great songs that
Yeah.
if you throw one new song in there, nobody's going to bitch.
No, but he's had more hits than most bands. that
Boy,
you
I'll
go
tell
see.
you. I wonder how many number ones Billy Joel's had, Doug. What do you think? Over, under 15 and a half.
Yeah, I was going to say 15, but since
Number
you
one hits?
I'll say 16.
I'm going to say under that. Number 1 hits.
Let's see, we got somebody just weed.
Because he had a lot of his early stuff, I think, was his best music.
The Beatles have the most in history with 20. I have not been able to.
I have.
What do you got?
So this is according to Billboard.
Elton John would have been up there with.
Billboard Hot 100. He has 3 number 1 hits.
Oh, is that right?
What were they?
They
Piano
were.
Man.
It's still rock and roll to me.
1980, Doug?
I don't know the years, Tim.
Uptown
Yeah.
Girl.
We didn't start the fire.
Wow.
Only the good die young.
And tell her about it.
Oh,
Wow.
and it's number 1 based on what criteria?
This is Billboard. This is like all they do.
It's,
It's
So what's the
track music.
criteria?
number of sales.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's changed now. Like,
Now it's
there's-
downloads, but
Yeah, it's weird now.
Caleb Mandrake's stepdad says he's calling in and he's not happy that no one's answering.
Okay.
I don't think
Hell with him!
I don't think he's calling in.
I only have the two hands, you know.
Well, what are you doing with the other one?
I'm looking up Billy Joel's damn.
Oh, gosh,
Billboard
don't
list.
curse at us.
my favorite song is Captain Jack, and I don't think he plays that anymore.
Doug, does he play Captain Jack?
I don't know.
I didn't see it on his last set list.
There are no safe words at you, New Hampshire sissy and pigtails. I won't stop gaping until I finish, and my wife will watch it. Then it gets really graphic. Drip out of you like a broken pipe during your edging session? That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves, Doug. Kind of a fun text.
Not that fun. Wasn't that
Why don't you
Wasn't a
suspend him
good
in his
time.
own logio?
I've done that before. He's already suspended a period of 6 days' time.
Doesn't seem like he's respecting that
No.
suspension.
Well, and you think he would since he's a sponsor. Doesn't say a lot about him. Doesn't say much at all. I had hoped for better. Thought I'd taught him a lesson.
Seth Goldcamp will teach you a lesson with your HVAC system. He's online at designairservice.com. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, official HVAC provider of TMA. And Iggy has announced it after tomorrow. Winter is over. So now it's time to get your air conditioning ready because we've got March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 8 months of summer. How about that?
That's nice.
That's
I like that.
glorious if
It
that's the
is,
case.
yeah.
So make sure your air conditioning is working. Work with Seth Goldcamp. Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com. Official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. And Jackson and I will have a brand new episode for you today. You can watch it on YouTube. And, of course, it'll be in your podcast feed. If you're a TMA subscriber or a Tim McKernan Show podcast subscriber, it's the Tim McKernan Show podcast. And Design Air Heating and Cooling is a wonderful sponsor of it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program with his pegging story, Caleb Mandrake's stepdad.
Oh.
Good morning, Caleb
Hello,
Mandrake's stepdad.
Caleb.
Good morning, all.
Well, hello.
You didn't believe, Flossie didn't believe me, did you?
I did not. I didn't know this was a real human. I thought this was just AI texting in. So it is nice to know that people still listen.
Yes, yes. So this story is true, but I heard it speaking from a friend that has told me the story. I know this friend since I was 5, and there was definite pegging involved.
So you didn't see it happen, right?
I did not see it happen, Iggy, but it is true.
Oh.
It's confirmed by the girlfriend at the time as well.
Okay.
Well, what's the story?
Doug, take it easy. God.
Don't tell Doug Vaughn to take it easy.
Clip that off.
So this was years ago. The pegging people who are involved in the situation are currently married now. They have a child as well. So no names will be given. But these people got involved in college, started dating, and then broke up post-college. And then went their separate ways. Then my buddy got romantically involved with the girl, and that's when the girl told all the details of said pegging. Yes, many, I guess you would say utensils, Doug? Is that what you would use? Or
No, I
utensils?
wouldn't use anything.
That's correct, utensils.
Okay, many utensils. And also the big kicker, and I'm sure Iggy will really like this. I'm laughing right now thinking about it. But the girlfriend had to dress up in Doug Vaughn attire, khakis, a button-down shirt.
Oh,
I kid
baloney.
you not.
Baloney.
Why would
I swear.
like that?
What was that?
Why would I like that?
I don't know.
I don't ever picture Doug Vaughn getting pegged.
Thank you, Iggy.
I think we all would.
Oh, okay.
And how
That's enough.
How long ago was this?
How long was the relationship?
No,
Or
how long
long
ago?
ago?
How long ago was the pegging?
Oh, God, Iggy, probably about 10 years ago.
And they were still thinking about Doug and his khakis back then, huh?
Well, not necessarily Doug, but the Doug attire. But she definitely had to wear a pair of khaki pants and a button-down shirt of his whilst mounting.
I don't buy any of it.
Well,
Well, Iggy, it's true. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Thank you, Caleb.
Caleb.
Like there's Caleb Mandrake's stepdad,
Okay.
not being met with great reviews
Yeah,
from
not a lot of information there. Just
This smug dildo is terrible. Andy's a liar. Jump into a vat of battery acid.
Oh.
Some DJ Jazzy Jeff Albert Pools. Cut this fake caller off now. That's from the 314. Try harder. That's from the Total Package. This bit sucks. That's from Colts writer Brian Henson. This is almost as dumb as any Iggy story. That's from Snagglepuss. Caleb, how about you take your uncle to your stepdad's basement and have him squirt mud on your chest? That's so vivid.
Gosh.
That's from Scissor Meat Timbers.
And don't use the verb squirt.
don't reward them.
Enough lies. At least my erotic email stories are true. That's from Kevin Miller. This guy is a fat. Andy made it up. Pot him down. Blend up a bleach margarita for this lard ass. That's from Mr. 63011. Very fast golf cart.
You couldn't tell if he was heavy set.
It's tough, you know. You call in and you're just not welcome.
Not so much. Although we encourage the callers.
We do.
And then when they call in, we rip them.
Well, have a little more information to your story. That, hey, you told me, pegged him. She had to put khakis on. That's the end of it?
I think that was the punchline.
But if you're going to lie, at least throw some more tidbits in there.
Yeah. Well,
Caleb, go get pegged by a machete. That's from Phil the Peacock,
Oh.
and he spells it P-H-Y-L.
oh, that would tear at the colon proper.
Hurt.
I'm not sure you could survive that.
A little tingle in my ass.
You do more than tingle.
No, I tingled thinking about it.
You don't suppose that's what happened to Joe when he had that bleeding problem?
That he had been pegged by a machete?
I don't think so. No, that was a weight room incident.
That's right.
Sorry, I brought that up. Sorry, Joe.
How many times did that guy have to breathe into a paper bag before he could talk on the air? Hope there's a defibrillator nearby. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. He was not impressed with the delivery.
Well-
Felt like there might have been some nerves.
Sounded fine to me. It wasn't a good story. But
We
it sounded
welcome the
all right.
callers, though. We like them.
Nothing wrong with the guy.
No.
He got the balls to call in and tell a fake story, and
Right.
that was it. So what?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the story had to do with the guy got divorced, why we went through all that. They were married, they got divorced.
Yes, go talk.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Absolutely.
I didn't give him a lot of time.
Hello?
And his friend.
Mike.
Yes, go. Would you start speaking?
Yes, I will.
I apologize that we had to get a Reader's Digest version, but we didn't have a lot of time. Leo in Jersey, what's up, Leo?
It's so important. Doug Leo in Jersey has to get his take in.
Didn't give him any time to get it in. Every time he started to talk, you interrupted him.
Here's the deal. James Carlton's up to 365-star reviews now. And is it Heidi Zahner?
I don't know. Miss Zahner.
Just a week ago, posted this one. Mike Ross was great to work with while switching over to State Farm and the James Carlton Agency. I can't recommend him enough. It is nice to work with an agency that still has that personal touch. We were able to save over $2,000 by switching to this agency. That is another endorsement from another person on Google. 365-star reviews. It's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. 314-961-4800. I'm a client. Pollock's a client. And now Iggy's a client. Go online at carltoninsurance.net to work with the great James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. 314-961-4800. Send your emails in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Win a pair of tickets to see Primus and Coheed and Cambria with special guests. Too Many Zoos on Saturday, August 3rd at St. Louis Music Park. That is the prize for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. At 9 o'clock, Jeremy Rutherford joins us, presented by Mark Hanna. And then, coming up in the next hour, it's the Munganass Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. And Doug, it's time for the Florida Swing.
The Florida Swing.
It's underway.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued by this one because I think it's more of a shot maker's course than a
Oh, for heaven's sake.
than a bomber's course. And I bet Iggy has adjusted his. I know he has probably two lineups and can't figure out which one to serve.
No, I only put one together
Oh, wow.
this week.
So
I
you
don't
got
have to-
confidence.
I don't have to worry about it, yeah.
You got
I went
confidence.
back and forth in this one, Doug. It's just so many things you got to take into consideration. You're looking for
Like
fairways
what?
this week.
You're looking for fairways.
I'm not
That's
looking
one.
for guys to make a ton of birdies because you're not going to make a ton of birdies out here. Just avoid the double bogeys. Stay out of trouble. There's water everywhere. So I'm just looking for guys who can put it in the fairway and guys that can scramble.
Yeah,
I think I did a good job.
That's
of
different
that.
than most tournaments.
It is.
Most tournaments, you don't want guys in the fairway, and you don't want guys who can get out of trouble.
Sometimes I don't care. I don't care if you bomb
in the woods is great.
No, not in the woods. If you're in the rough, and the rough's only about an inch long, and you just gouge it out because you hit the ball 360. I want fairways. It's not the rough isn't as high as last year, but still.
You know the rough length that PG really? What are they saying?
Is that like on a golf app? Like,
I'm surprised to hear that. I've played that course the day after the tournament, and the rough is short, but the course is as hard as my cock. Am I right on that, Doug?
Well, they said last year the rough was like 3 1/4, and this year it's down to like 2 1/2, something like that.
Doug, why did they cut the rough down?
They had the lawnmower at the wrong setting. I don't know.
I just think it didn't grow as much as last year. I'm just going. They said the greens are 12 compared to last year. There were 13 on the stimp. So you get these stats, and then you look for guys.
You can just hit fairways and scramble out of trouble.
There's not going to be a lot of birdies, so you don't worry about. Oh, he makes it's great on par 4 birdies. No, you just want a guy that get on the green, 2-putt, and get your occasional birdie. If I get a guy that's 200 par, he's going to make the cut, and then take it from there.
Think 200 is going to be the cut?
Something like that.
Yeah, I guess it depends. I know it was super windy yesterday. Doug, what were the winds?
I didn't look at the winds. I don't know.
I don't know how you're going to pick your roster then if you didn't
blindly.
I'll let you know after tomorrow what the cut's going to be. Okay, I'm pretty good about nailing the cut after one round.
Sure, you're great at that.
It's something to look forward to. You going to listen to the show from Long Island?
No.
And after tomorrow's round, I'll tell you what the winning score is going to be too. How about that?
What? Okay. I'll be meeting with Lester Holt up there in New York.
Lester Holt is going to be at Billy Joel's.
He's got a place up there.
Jay-Z and Queen Bee inviting him over.
Hove's up there?
Yeah, he's got a place up there. Okay. Not as big as his place in Jersey, but he's got a nice place.
Bill's wife, who is actually confirmed female, says, that's a real story. I've got a pegging and dressing like Doug kink. Bill's wife is the pegger?
Not likely.
Now we got something here.
Don't be fooled by
if that's
nonsense.
The girl who was pegged, or was pegging.
Right, pegger.
Unless maybe she also dresses up like you to peg.
Sure.
Is this a common kink?
Amongst our listeners, probably.
I couldn't blame anyone if it was, of course.
Right.
But I just don't think that it's happening. Not that it's not a possibility.
I don't know why the girl would dress up like you. You'd think the guy would dress up like you and then take his khakis off, but...
Because the guy wants to be impaled by Doug.
That's gay.
But I feel like right there you kind of kink shamed.
Well, that's
if
okay.
you're getting pegged up the butt and you're a dude, it's kind of gay, ain't it?
Yeah. Is there anything less appealing?
Not necessarily, honestly.
I think you're off base.
Yeah, Jackson, we're on the same page.
Well, I know it's going to come now. It's like, oh, Jackson gets pegged, whatever.
No, I'm on your side on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
you just might enjoy anal stimulation,
right?
But you might not find a gentleman and say like I have a 5 o'clock shadow. Like you would feel that up against your lips, and that doesn't stimulate you. But the idea of your prostate being milked does. You understand that?
The only thing that's gay is having sex with another man. If it's a woman, then it cannot be gay.
Well, but the woman has a penis strapped to her.
Oh, gosh.
It's phallic.
So obviously
she doesn't have a penis.
Obviously, you like a penis in you.
And let me get this straight. She's also wearing penny loafers,
hands down, most beautiful breasts I've ever seen, and then a penis.
Yeah,
blue button-down dress shirt,
Oxford,
and khakis. So you,
right? But I wouldn't say that that's inherently gay.
Well, you want a Doug behind you.
A Doug-like figure.
Well, still you want Doug.
You want like the essence of Doug, but you don't want Doug himself.
Gay. Nothing wrong with it.
I'm not saying you're saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just saying that if it's a woman, it cannot be gay.
It's at least bisexual. It's at least bisexual.
Again, it's just it logic would tell you it has to be a man.
All right, but it's a penis, just not a man's penis. It's a fake penis.
Yeah, phallic.
Frank, do you like chocolate bunnies?
I think an appliance is the right term.
I don't want a guy in me, but I want something shaped like a guy in me.
Correct.
Wielded by a woman.
Also clip that off.
Wielded by a woman. You're leaving out a huge part of it, though.
Caleb Mandrick's stepdad is not happy with the response his call got from the audience and has texted in. The story is 1,000% true. Go eat more donuts, you fat, sad idiots. That's from Caleb Mandrick's stepdad.
Well, maybe I should have put a little bit more effort into the story and
It's
a few more
not true.
little
Don't
tidbits.
buy into
and-
this. Just because someone says, "Hey, it's true," doesn't mean it's true.
Well, I know. Just like what was the guy, Buzz?
Call her Buzz.
Got bent out of shape, and his buddy got bent out of shape because they didn't believe that he stuck a phone up his ass.
Yeah. Even
they were following me around.
sideways or even like
They
none
were
of that.
following me around the entire trivia night. Iggy, here he's it's a true story. It's a true story. The guy was drunk. It's a true story, man. He stuck a phone up my ass, man. Shut up. It's real. Like, okay, get away. Next
Frank,
break.
would you say this statement is accurate? Doug Vaughn, Big Ego, Small Johnson.
Hey, come on, Frank.
Doug taking shots.
What happened
Where'd
there?
that come from?
Slow day on the press box.
Yeah, what was the possible conversation that led
And
to
it
that?
sounded like he was on
Almighty.
remote, right? Like,
It did, yeah, like he was at spring training or something.
Wait. Tim sounded like he thinks pegging is cool. Now I'm thinking of trying it. That's from the Flat Avenue Boy. Now I want to make this clear. This show has been adamant for years about not kink shaming.
Oh, I do.
But what I'm saying is I don't think it's necessarily the act of someone who enjoys the company of another gentleman to be pegged. That's what I'm saying. Doesn't appeal to me, but we don't kink shame. That's my official statement. I'll reiterate that at the start of Balloon Party, and then we'll look at the Blues loss last night.
I don't know any guy that likes a prostate exam, but then you like a girl sticking a fake penis up your ass?
Oh,
Strap on.
gosh. I don't think they give prostate exams the way they used to.
No, they don't.
You know, it's just a blood test.
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
Yeah, you don't have
Thank
to get anything
God.
shoved up there and scoped.
KG in O-Town is offended. I'm tired of saying it. It's an erogenous zone. It's KG in O-Town.
If you're tired of saying it, quit saying it.
Cured.
I don't have an erogenous zone in my ass.
Yeah, I mean every guy does.
Well, I haven't found it.
That could be the case.
I haven't searched for it, but
I hate to sound crass, but that's where it all funnels to, baby.
What? What?
I'm saying like that is. He's saying he's right. It's an erogenous zone. It's a source of pleasure.
For some, maybe, not for everybody.
Well, some might prefer it over some other things, but it's all there. Like the nerve endings are all there. You know what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down there, Vaughn?
Yeah.
I can attest to the veracity of Caleb Mandrick's stepdad's story. I also saw said pegging receiver working out in topsiders and really short shorts. That's from Los Lonely Boys.
Was this like a peep show? Why are there so many people who...
Yeah, a lot of people witnessed this pegging.
And it happened at Topsiders in the Ozarks?
No, he was wearing topsiders.
Oh.
Doug, I feel like that wasn't your shoe. Was that ever your shoe?
I had him in college, yeah. I used to wear topsiders.
You're more of a
Everybody
wingtip guy, right?
No, that was a little too dressy for college.
Brogues? You wear brogues?
No, topsiders were the shoe of choice.
Weren't they like boat shoes?
Yeah.
They kind of look like it, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was
that's
more
what
of a
everybody was
preppy look.
wearing.
It was
Yeah.
a preppy look.
Mm. Yeah.
But when you were working, you would wear wingtips, would you not?
Oh, okay. Not very often.
No, penny loafers.
Yeah, loafers usually. And back then in college, it was a big thing to have that alligator on your shirt.
Izod.
The Lacoste.
Or
Izod.
Lacoste?
Yeah, that was a big thing.
What was the difference between Izod and Lacoste Go?
I think it's the same thing.
Is that right? Interesting.
Lacoste was the tennis player, right, who first wore that kind of shirt?
Oh, is that right?
I think
Didn't
so.
know there was a guy named Lacoste.
I think
Andre
so.
Lacoste, I think.
Yeah. And Izod is probably the company that made it.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Really nice information to have in your
Rene Lacoste.
Rene Lacoste.
I had a lot of eyes on.
Yeah. And now Polo.
Well, yeah, I went from,
Wow.
I evolved. I went from Izod to Nautica to Polo.
Yeah. Polo was seen as like a half step above the alligator.
I have a Polo on right now.
Yeah. Your hat.
3/4 zip.
Guys, I finally convinced my girlfriend to give this show a listen, and this is the first conversation she is hearing. That's from the Lipstick Last. Doug, and I believe she won the Milagro Tequila Lister of the Month. Was that July?
I don't know the months, Tim.
August of last year?
I thought she was married. She has a girlfriend?
Oh, Bill. Doug.
No, I guess it doesn't have to be a sexual as a girlfriend. It could be your friend. But
Well,
I'm not thinking that way.
I'm sorry, this was the first show
What did you
that
think
she
she
had
was
to
going to hear? You know what the show's about.
Yeah.
It's the first time, though, we've had a real strap-on story called in, I believe. Jeremy Rutherford will be calling in. That's sponsored by Mark Hanna at 9 o'clock. Then we'll have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Then Jackson and I will head down the hallway. We will be fine, but they will not be happy with the Blues losing. And the Doggies lost 1-0, Doug, but they don't advance.
No.
Even though they won last week 2-1, and that's because...
Goals on the road, Tim.
Goals on the road. Aggregate sounds like you respect the system.
Yeah, well... That system is what it is. I would think that in that case, maybe you have a shootout or something. But nope. I think that would be more exciting.
Well, some glorious scoring opportunities in the first half, but not able to convert. And then finally, Houston broke through. Is that like the 60th minute, 80th minute?
Something 60th, I think. Wouldn't it be more exciting to have a shootout to determine that than to, 1-0, we lose. I guess we lose. We won one, you won one. Okay, you win.
It really doesn't matter.
Whoa.
Well, it does to the guys involved.
It's the
and the fans.
Conclave Cup. Now they're
it's
done
not
with
the
that.
Conclave Cup.
Now they're done with that. They can focus on the real thing, the MLS.
New York this week, Doug.
Unless don't you have something else during the middle of the season they stop and play?
Maybe. Well, am I wrong here? Would it not be better to finish it with a shootout?
I
Both
agree.
teams won a game? Settle it some other way.
Had the Doggies lost 2-1 last night as opposed to 1-0, they would have had 2 15-minute halves.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't decided there, then it would have gone to PKs.
Okay. Just go to PKs. You won one, we won one, we're going to PKs. Done.
But then why do the aggregate scoring?
Don't do the aggregate scoring. You won a game, we won a game. We both won one. Now we're going to settle it with a shootout.
You
Done.
got good pitching?
We got good pitching, they got good pitching. We got good defense, they got good defense. They got a good ball club. We got a good ball club.
So if they would have lost 1-0,
they did.
But if they'd have lost 1-0 at home, and then went on the road and won 5-0, they'd have still lost the.
No, they'd have won.
They would have won 5-1 on aggregate.
If they'd have won, if they got 5-0 at home,
win or lost.
it doesn't matter how big you win.
It does
It
matter.
does.
It's aggregate.
It matters how many goals you score on the road.
On the road, though.
Road only matters in tiebreakers when the aggregate scoring is tied.
Bro, like, this is why I can't.
Well, it's
This
not.
is
It's,
why
this
I
is not.
can't.
This is not like it's super advanced here.
No, I know, but like
It's
for
an
a fan
addition.
to have to write this stuff down and actually think about it, it's just it's going to be impossible for me to get fully invested.
So they could have
We
lost.
won one, they won one. Settle it with a shootout. Done.
They could have
Thank
lost.
you, Doug, but it's too easy. This sport is too highbrow. It's just, it's a pitch, you know, and
Right. Let them have it.
all the it's just mind blowing to me. how
Really rip them.
pretentious it is. But hey, it looks fun live.
Yeah.
They could have won 1-0 on the road,
We still haven't figured this out.
We know- I don't even know
Still
if I
haven't
can-
figured it out.
1-0 on the road, and then come back home and win
And,
7-2, and they would have lost.
No, because they would have won
8-2.
both games. That was a tiebreaker.
They would be up 8-2 on aggregate.
I'm trying to figure it out.
It's not that hard. If you win them both, you're in. If you win one and lose one, then they go to who scored the most goals on the road.
Yeah, imagine
That's all
the
there is to it.
Imagine the game is 180 minutes as opposed to 90 minutes. So whatever the score is after the 180 minutes.
Hey, it don't matter. It's a
Doesn't matter.
useless tournament that nobody even knows what's
The
going on.
conclave tournament.
It's a huge. All right.
Oh,
You can ask half the people in that stadium last night; they wouldn't know what was going on.
well, they probably do. The season ticket holders are probably.
I should have been a
plugged
man on the street last night's segment. I should have went down there and asked people, "Do you know what they played for tonight?"
It was in Houston.
No, I travel.
You travel.
For that one question. Hop on a flight, take a red eye
Gas
home.
cam runs out of batteries. It's a cooking show live from the hotel
25
room.
minutes.
I'd be in for it.
That'd be a good
I'd be your
time.
Lensman eggs.
I'll be back to cooking tonight. I got the
Oh, what have you got?
my.
Mahi mahi. I like that.
You won't get it. You'll be gone tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Doggone
You can
it.
send it to New York.
Yeah.
What time's your flight?
About 1 o'clock
Tomorrow afternoon.
this afternoon.
Now, when you go to the Hamptons, are
He
you
was
picked,
getting ready. He was going to have a
Yeah.
patrol.
do you get picked up by town car or limo?
That's a good question, actually.
Well, usually helicopter.
Okay.
I'm going
Oh,
clear out
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. That's
Island.
right. You do
And,
helicopter.
you know, if you fly PJ, obviously you're
Uh-huh.
right there, catty corner to the
Yeah.
helicopter area.
Jeez, I'm surprised at the question.
Yeah.
Jet Ranger.
Now, do you get pissed if they don't have the helicopter filled and ready to go when you land on your private jet? If you have to wait 10 minutes, I
like that, obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I expect a certain level of sophistication.
And there got to be a couple Hampton homes that do have helipads, right? I know that sounds ridiculous, but now
probably, sure, yeah. People who fly into New York City.
That's a different style of wealth.
Have you ever taken a plane to the city or where you're going and then get on another plane to take it to where you're staying?
We did with Jamaica, right? Or, I mean...
What do you mean
No, you
by
take a
that?
bus.
Get on one plane to the city and another plane to the...
But weren't the plane landing?
Instead of getting a ride to your place, like it's got to be a place that's far away. Like in Jamaica, we fly into Montego Bay. You didn't want to, before they fixed the roads, it would take like 3 hours to get to Negril. So you take a little puddle jumper, you're there in 12 minutes.
That's just a connecting flight.
Have you ever taken one?
A connecting flight?
Not a connecting flight.
A small plane puddle jumper? Sure.
Yeah, not to a big airport, just to a little landing
But you're
strip.
still landing on an airport.
Yeah, but it's just a little strip.
Little landing strip.
Well, I've never landed in the mountains in the Andes or anything like that, but I have taken small puddle jumpers into smaller towns.
All right, what do you think of them? I've got a landing strip.
Well, I'd rather do that than drive.
Were you frightened on it?
Not that much.
They kind of wobble around.
A little bit more than a...
Well, just Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Think about that.
What do you like about a Weebles? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. You know. Do they still have those?
Twice the guy overshot the runway, had to go back up.
Who exactly keeps asking for these cooking shows? It bums me out every week it goes without a not-so-subtle payola sponsor. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven, who's launching an investigation into the cooking shows.
Well, I haven't mentioned the cooking
And you
on the
didn't
air.
invite me! Hurt my feelings!
I haven't mentioned that sponsor. It's not a sponsor. It's my sponsor on Facebook. It's not a sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
I mentioned him on Facebook.
I think that might be the definition.
Might have revealed too much.
Hubbard's counsel is going to go just play that audio.
Well, it's a personal thing for my Facebook page. I don't mention it on the show.
No.
I'm not a Hubbard employee when I go home and cook.
No.
So and you don't have to watch it if you don't want.
No, I'd say don't watch if you don't want to.
Why do you bitch about it?
Right.
Glove blogger, why don't you call in like Caleb Mandrick's stepdad?
Please do.
Please don't have that call.
636-9004.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to this guy.
I think it would behoove Hubbard to acquire the rights to Iggy's cooking videos.
Ooh. Are they up, or are you still under contract?
No, actually, I have Tony, well-dressed Tony.
Oh, is that right? Well-dressed Tony.
Talking to Fish the People.
Fish the People.
Well,
Foster the People.
I don't want to mention the name.
Pumped Up Kicks. 2011, am I
So
right?
the band Fish?
a banger.
I don't want to mention the name because
Fish
they're
the
not a
People.
sponsor.
We got to come back with that.
But I have him talking to them, see if they want to do something on the show.
Like, how much money would it take to acquire the rights to that fishing show?
I don't know.
What are you
I'm not a
asking?
salesperson.
I just imagine it
Couple
displayed
million?
on a big screen of like Iggy's cooking show and a bunch of people wrapped around the conference room looking at it.
Yeah.
Fish, the People. Episode 1.
Randy Character did
Title
one.
segment.
Character did one. It was out in the lobby that he's, some kind of Schnook's kitchen or something he was cooking.
Oh, did he?
He's probably a better cook than I am.
I don't think so.
I believe Randy and his wife are like world-class bakers.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, for real. That's a real thing.
What are they baking?
The cookies.
This carrot cake is...
That's a special.
Character
Yeah.
cake?
Because he brought
Carrot
in some,
cake.
he brought in some stuff and put it in the break room in the kitchen. I didn't know at the time that it was homemade and he made it, but it's always tremendous.
Really?
Yeah, John Kiowski asked me one time, we were talking, he said, you like to bake? And I said, nah, I don't bake a lot. I said, I made a carrot cake the other day. He goes, oh, you and Randy should have a bake-off. He does a great carrot cake.
I like a good bake-off here, Doug.
Yeah, be nice. He's bringing in our Easy Bake Ovens and make some cookies and cakes.
Well, I said I'd like to
Cookies and
I'd like to do
cake.
more cross-promotion. I'd like to play 101 against TMA in a Ryder Cup format. Maybe do a cook-off.
Who are we going to play?
Well, they got to get 5 people to play, and we get 5.
Like 101?
Yeah. Well, to make it Ryder Cup format, we could have KG play, so it'd be 6 on 6. They got to get 6 people. We have 6 people. We'll do 2 days of best ball and 4 ball, and then the last day it'd be singles matches. 101 versus
There it is,
TMA.
Doug. It'll be fun.
And we could be color coordinated, similar
nice.
to the Ryder Cup style, and
Nice.
get ourselves some gear.
I think that'd be a fun little. I know 101 plays the Riz Show in fantasy football,
right?
So we could do a Ryder Cup thing.
Remember, we did have the Ride Her Cup.
Oh, we did. Yes, we did.
That was actually a really fun format, just really hard to get everybody.
Yeah, but they could find 6 people to play golf over there. I know Randy plays golf.
Why would Fish the People pay for a sponsorship? You do it for free for them. Also, can we make the next hour a little less Ken-driven? He is exceptionally dumb today. Is Ed Herman or Andy Crouppen or Kelly Chase or anyone around to take his chair? That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood. And Doug, he won the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year.
Yeah, well, the head is drooped now. We're at about 20% crestfallen.
Well, you texting the same thing every day, so I just stop listening.
Well, he's one of our best listeners.
Yeah, Listener of the Year, for that matter.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Oh.
I can organize a team to take you suck asses down. Tim excluded, of course. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Well, you don't work here. So it wouldn't get no promotion because...
Any promotion. Nobody gets any promotion.
Nobody cares if you play or not. I think people would care if we played Randy Character. And,
no one would care. We'd have fun, but no one would really care.
I think Brooke plays a little golf. Maybe get Brad Thompson.
But understand, no one would care.
What about Rock? What about Rock? He
Rocky
plays.
was a ball striker.
Yeah, so you can get 6 people from over there.
Marshy Marsh.
Why not just
In
a
the Playful
scramble?
Posse? Yeah, Marsh plays.
A couple of scramble teams. 3 teams. We'll have 3 guys.
I got
Three
Rivers.
2 different teams.
Well, it's not really Ryder Cup now, is it?
Well, it doesn't have to be Ryder Cup now, does it?
Well, I said it was Ryder Cup.
Why does it have to be Ryder Cup?
Barbs are being traded.
Oh, it was my idea.
I'm
Why
trying
don't you
to tweak it.
Go pitch an idea, something
No one's
else.
going to take this idea.
Well, if you can get a sponsor or 2, it's worth it.
But we won't.
We won't.
Well, Steve's good at sponsoring crap.
Oh,
You
now
just told him to stop listening to the show, man.
God, you just called one of our segments.
It's a unique sales pitch.
You can keep sponsoring. I don't care. Just stop listening.
Send in your money, but turn off your radio.
How
and get
often
back.
would it need to be playing and hear what people watch out there?
Nice. even with the new computer, we throw up a couple remixes.
I'm full of ideas.
Cut off.
That's
Doug Mentality has an idea. If you're feeling sluggish, you're not putting on muscle like you used to, but you're putting on weight in a way that you never have before. Those are symptoms of low testosterone. Well, that's where Mentality steps in and can help you out. I've been tested at Mentality, a local healthcare facility, online at lowtusa.com, and they are specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Belly fat, feeling bloated, and a lack of lean muscle and tone that used to be easy to get rid of or maintain. Those are symptoms of low testosterone. It doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. Let Mentality help you out. You go out there, you're in and out within 20 minutes. Super friendly staff. I've been out there. I got tested. It's Mentality. LowTUSA.com. That's lowtusa.com. Compete at work and at sports like you did years ago. Your career is a competition, and you need every edge you can get in today's rapidly changing market. Don't let age be an excuse to settle for second with Mentality. Online at lowtusa.com. Jackson, tell the people about Circa.
Be happy to, Tim. Love to tell people about Where to Wager, because Where to Wager is Circa Sports app.
Yeah.
You can go out to Vegas and check out Circa. It's super fun. KG and O-Town and I went out there in August. Ton of a stadium swim, hang out there, watch the games. Great casino right there in downtown Las Vegas. But now they're bringing the world's largest sports book in Las Vegas to you here in Illinois, St. Louis area. Folks can go make the short drive across the river, or if you already live in Illinois, sign up for the Circa Sports app because it's sports betting the way it should be, with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service around. Right around the corner, you're going to want to get that Circa Sports app ready to go for the big dance. March Madness is right around the corner. If you were paying attention to basketball last night, you know that buzzer beaters were going on left, right, and center. So much fun. It's shaping up to be an awesome tournament. We don't know who's going to win. Everything's up in the air. So much fun to bet on. The Circa Sports app, which is now available in Illinois. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
There you go. Isn't Jay Delsing a 101 employee? Thanks. That's a Mayor Don. Doug, that might be a big
problem.
That might be a problem.
Big problem.
Maybe he'll be out of town that day.
Is he an employee?
Does a show.
Yeah, Sattersbins.
That doesn't count?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean he's an employee.
What else would it mean?
I mean, like Tim and I do a show on 101, but we also do a show here. Are we employees of 101 or Hubbard in general?
Which team would you play for? The 101 team or this team?
I'm fielding offers. I have to do what's best for me and my family, and I want to grow the game.
Yeah. You're going to get $935 million from 101.
Well, if you two go play over there, then we got 3 people that can play here. So
What kid you know, Don?
No, we don't need him now.
We got Welly.
Wellington.
We got Welly. That's I mean, that's a get.
But where does he work here?
What?
Can we take Nagel?
We can absolutely.
We're just throwing people out there now.
We'll hire him. Intern Chris Nagel.
Yeah, we'll hire him for a day to play.
Doug, you remember Paul from the wealthy part of West County who apparently gave us a stock tip like 8 years ago that now would have made us very wealthy?
Oh my God, I know that.
Which
yeah,
one
that
was it?
Taser.
Taser, is that what it was?
Dude, yeah.
It was
He
like police
smart
lasers,
on
right?
that.
So he is texting in and he said he will sponsor the 101 ESPN versus TMA Ryder Cup format. However, he does not want Iggy to play.
Oh.
So that is,
We can't have that,
Those
Dan.
are his terms, Paul from the wealthy part of West County. So a sponsor's already lining up.
Would you be okay with that, Iggy?
Yeah, how much money? How much money are you going to spend?
We went ahead
Paul,
with
you
this.
can call in
I've said
and
I'm
give us a stock tip.
I'm all about making money for the station. So if the station makes money and I don't play, that's fine with me.
We put you in the tower.
Paul was
you could be on the call.
I'll be a commentator.
You could do a
that's fine.
cooking show. while
Oh
we
my
play
God,
golf.
you could be the. Yeah.
I'll make Caesar salads at the turn.
Hello, friends.
Like a salad at the turn. Hey, guys, if you go up against 101, we won't see an upset that size since you took down Adam Long at Meadowbrook. That's from Big Tough.
Nice callback.
I can't think of any other industry where there's more confusion about who's an employee, who's a sponsor, who gets paid, how many of you actually have jobs. It's a whole thing. Doug, that's from Milagro Tequila, Texture of the Year 2023, Arbor Day.
No, that's from,
Well, welcome to the circus.
we don't know who works here.
Welly will be busy in my master bedroom, eating. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville in Webster Grove, so he's out.
Can we get him? Can we get a recovering alcoholic?
He's a
dresses
ball
like,
striker.
He dresses
P.
like
Reed.
P. Reed.
Well, I don't know. He's
Again,
just
what is he-
suspended.
What does he work here?
If you put a mic on him,
Are we not doing
instant
employees
offense.
or just doing people that listen to the show?
Wellington, he's filled in.
Who've been on the program?
He's filled in.
Well, we get that guy who was here last week or last hour talking about his pegging. Does he
Caleb
count?
Mandrake's stepdate.
Yeah, does he
No,
count?
he was a
he was
caller.
on the air.
But Wellington is filled in.
When? I'm all for him playing. That's fine. Did he get paid to be in?
I don't know.
I believe so.
I mean,
Is that the rules?
We had Erica Swings in here. Let's get her on the show. At least it'll be fun.
She's good around the greens.
I don't know.
It'll be
Shot
fun.
shaper.
She can
I like
putt.
your touch.
Yeah, she's getting a little frisky on Twitter.
Oh, no.
Doug?
She's putting
Just
up.
open the door for another nice story.
She's basically putting up half her videos on Twitter.
I will sponsor the show for $1,000 a day if Iggy retires. That's from the Concord Caucus. Doug, that's a $365,000 proposal just came in.
Yeah. You're not going to retire, are you, Iggy?
A day?
So the guy read what's in the teleprompter.
You giving me the money?
No, the station. You said you were all about the station making money.
Well, but I don't have a job now.
Yeah, but the station makes money.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm broke.
So you're more
I'm
about
broke
you
and I'm
making
working.
money than the station.
If I have a job,
Oh, that seems
they can
selfish.
make money, but not if I have to quit.
Yeah.
Glove blogger Tom Traven has a question. Doug, are you taking any? Or are you?
Well, a quick one.
Is it best practice for those working 10 hours a week to deeply question the employment statuses of others at the radio stations? Thanks. That's from Glove blogger Tom Traven.
Well, you don't add very well, dumbass.
Yeah, it's 15 hours.
Why do people really care about what I do, how many hours I work, how many days I take off, how long are my breaks?
Tom Traven calling and answering that question.
Fake sickness. I mean, why you?
I've had it at this
It's
point.
so much that they worry about what I do
About
here,
30%
about my
crestfallen
job.
right now.
I mean, if I dug into some of you people, what you do for a living, and if I just bugged you every day, hey, you were 15 minutes for late. I'm going to tell your boss you were on the phone looking at porn.
That could be the job. Is you could companies could hire you to outsource, cracking the whip.
You could be a whistleblower.
Yeah, you're probably supposed to be at work now. You're sitting here texting into the show.
Just walk up and down hallways. Someone's on their phone.
That's basically
yell
what they
at
do
them.
here because, I get it.
Yeah.
It's part of the deal being on the air, and you see me every day on YouTube. If we weren't on YouTube, you wouldn't know if I was late for a break. You wouldn't know what I was wearing. But you have to critique it every day.
Now, calm down.
That's
Angry.
not part of the job.
Return the favor. Go to their offices and start.
Well, half of them don't have jobs.
Is that right? This is a 50% unemployment?
Well, they don't seem to be working most of the day. Till 10 o'clock, they're on the phone texting all the time.
Probably voiced it.
But then I open up a phone to look at something. He's on the phone again, Tim. Look, he's on the phone again, Tim. They wait till I blink. And look, he's sleeping.
So we gotta get
Snapshot that. Put it on the fan page. Look, Iggy slept.
Gotta get that laptop fired up. They can't question you if you get that.
Right. Like, I look at Twitter all the time.
What the hell's the difference if I'm on the laptop or I'm on the phone?
Well, aesthetically.
I use the phone as a laptop.
But you're headed down, but like with the computer, you can still like have head like to the camera.
And it looks very professional.
Yeah, it doesn't look as obvious.
Well, I'm not here to please the listeners.
Well, it's the last thing we want to do.
Right? We don't do that, actually.
Concord Cox donation, I thought it was a sponsorship, was $1,000 a day, but now Nedyo Shattered Pelvis says he will double it if Iggy retires. So now, Doug, that's $730,000 plus $365,000 that are coming in here. Iggy,
you have to
you could get $1 million.
We'll give you a little kickback.
Yeah, you can wet your beak.
If they're paying me to quit, I will.
All right.
I'll take $365,000 to not
No,
work.
$730,000.
I'll take that to not work. Hell yeah.
All right.
There you go. Put your money where your mouth is, you big mouth. I'm not going to use it.
Watch it, Angry.
I almost said it.
What were you going to say? Are you going to MF him?
Yeah.
Wow. That would have expedited the retirement.
Yeah.
I think I dumped Chaser 6 times. Good for him to wait at the 8 seconds, let that dump.
He spaced him out.
Yeah. So we can do that. Yeah.
He's a professional cusser.
Yeah, the back-to-back-to-backs, you can't dump like 3 in like 5
How does the
seconds.
thing know just what word to dump?
It doesn't. It's
It
like
doesn't.
the last
It
8
dumps like
seconds.
that.
Last 8 seconds. So you dump it, and it takes 10, 15 seconds to load back up that 8 seconds.
It sounds
and then-
weird, but
Yeah, it is. It takes longer than 8 seconds to load it back
it's
up.
like
It's just odd.
it's like the voices start getting like drunk and like slow and
No, they're
slurred,
right.
and then it drops out and then it waits a second.
Patrick Macalata says he's willing to sponsor as well. So things are starting to happen here. You might retire a multimillionaire.
So Hubbard gonna get these numbers and go, we can make $15,000 a month?
No, it's going to me, so they would have to match it to keep me.
All of it goes to you?
What?
I'm sure they'd be in negotiations there. God, we got to come up with $1 million or we're going to lose them. Adios. No, you're right. I want payment for a year in advance.
In advance.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to.
Concord Caulk, Patrick Macalata, and who was the other one, Doug? Well, we're getting a lot of offers. I guess Nedyo Shattered Pelvis.
Oh, yeah, the pelvis guy.
You'll take it in small unmarked bills.
Yeah, I want cash.
Cash.
You walk into the station. Okay, here's my $360,000 for the year. Here's my $360,000.
What if they
for the year.
Venmo'd you?
I want $100,000 for the year. You get it. You come in here with suitcases of cash. I'm out the door.
Duffel bag. Bills.
Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
What about like bearer bonds?
Would you accept crypto?
No, cash.
I think these listeners secretly don't want Iggy to leave the show.
It would be
because they like take out all of their anger and hatred, and they're sexually frustrated. They hate their lives, and like Iggy, like gives them that 3-hour stretch of just being able to let it all hang out on the text line.
I think there's a few of them that really would like to see me go.
Well, there's always going to be that certain few. I mean, that's never going to change.
You think they're jealous of your sexual conquest?
No, I mean, I've never done anything to these people. I don't know why. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
One of the sponsors, Paul from the wealthy part of West County, has sent in a screenshot of Taser. Doug, it opened at 75 in May of 2020, and it's now trading at 278.
It's insane.
So there it is. And how much you bought it? And you put in $500,000.
100,000 shares. Yeah. What's that AI stock that's gone crazy?
Nvidia?
Nvidia?
It's $1 trillion valuation almost right now, which is absolutely insane. But AI is going to be taking over in the next 25 years.
And it's like behind only Microsoft and Apple, I think?
Yeah, but like if
why
you
don't
look
we acquire it today?
If you look at
you got to get your flight.
I'll look into it.
The trajectory of that stock compared to the Apple, the Microsoft, and those eventually like fizzle out a little bit. That thing is just going to the damn moon. Yeah, so if I didn't early on that,
That's
you're
the one I
winning.
got in my 401k plan.
Oh, if you do, you would have hundreds of millions.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe not hundred, depending on
how much you bought.
Depending on how much you bought.
I don't know. Tim put me in touch with the guy, and I said, "Just pick what you want. I don't care.
Nice.
I trust you. Just put something together."
I will pitch in to cover Ken's pick 6 debt that he still hasn't paid. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
There's another thing you know nothing about. You know nothing about anything. You just open your mouth.
That's another shirt.
You open your mouth and you have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh.
Like you have insight into what goes on in here.
What percentage of our listeners know nothing about anything?
Half.
Oh, my God.
Again, 50%. Is that the same that are unemployed? Or
If it's not, we're in big trouble.
That's the other half. Somehow they're employed but really don't know anything. No, I kid when I say that. I mean, 99.9% of our listeners are great people. There are a little smidgen. Little smidgen of people that are just hateful.
There's a few cockleburs in your saddle.
Yeah, just hateful and just, just so they just go on Twitter and find things to bitch about. And,
They're mining your old tweets?
I don't know.
They have no
I don't know
life,
if they're
Tim.
mining. I blocked a guy the other day.
What happened?
Blocking.
I don't know. I said, it was a feel-good story that I posted. Oh, it was Dave Grohl. There was a thing about Dave Grohl during the Super Bowl. He spent 8 hours cooking and feeding the homeless in California. And I just posted, I said, this dude is unreal. He is really just a nice guy. Somebody said, oh, yeah, who gives a F? Why don't you post things of ordinary people giving money? Always got to be a celebrity. I said, what is wrong with you, man?
Blocking.
Block.
I did. I said, why so hateful over a guy that just likes to help the less fortunate, man?
Iggy, that dude is in his basement, just so upset with his life, and this is kind of where this is where they love life, is bashing and destroying other people. It's like a personality trait.
Yeah. It's like I said, 99% of the people I know, they're kidding, and we have fun with it, and I just kind of give them stuff back. But there's a couple that just are very hateful, and I don't know why, because you never met me. I've always said, if you meet me and you still think I'm a prick, then yeah, at least you met me.
Yeah.
Don't say stuff without ever meeting me. But whatever, it's your own prerogative. You can say what you want. It's your show.
Yeah. You think could they be at odds with you because of some of the recipes that you're using in the fishing show?
Well, you would see that I don't cook ditch carp.
Well, and Dover sole for the most part, and that is not for Hoosiers.
Oh, there's no way they're eating Dover sole.
The Hoosiers.
Stephen Wildwood won Milagro Tequila's Listener of the Year and says, I love my boy, but to say people have no life when you are commenting on Brandon Crawford highlights, you might want to look within. That's from Chairman Steve, and he is in Wildwood, and he's not happy with your Brandon Crawford comments.
When was I talking about Brandon Crawford highlights?
I think that was Plowsy took a shot at Brandon Crawford.
Well,
it was Tom Ackerman.
Oh, it should have been, because he said he's my boy, so he wouldn't have been talking about
Man,
me.
Ack went back hard at me like 2 minutes afterwards. Yeah, we're the only ones up that early, so good to have that response.
Rise and grind.
Yeah, you want to make as many enemies as you possibly can.
It was. If you read the thread, it's not enemy at all. We are just fine. I like Tommy Ack.
Okay.
I just thought
it's hard
the video,
not to like him.
I thought the video was misleading.
Pretty difficult to
He's
get along.
He's not difficult. He's the nicest
he's a
guy you
super
meet.
great
I
guy.
had so many problems with that guy. He's just a terrible human being.
Okay.
And I'm kidding, because he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, he
so.
is fantastic.
Iggy versus very obvious internet bots is becoming a rivalry as good as Plowboy versus Soccer Guy. That's Al in Dadeville.
It's not an internet bot, because I went and checked his Facebook page, and it's all hate, and it's a lot of Trump stuff, so put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, nice. Breakdown.
Doug will wrap up the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Munganess, the sponsor of the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown, which is coming your way next. Jeremy Rutherford at 9 o'clock with your 2-part questions. And then we will have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Jackson and I will head down the hallway and do a balloon party. And then we'll come back in this studio and do the Tim McKernan Show podcast, QFTA. And you can watch that and participate in the chat live on YouTube at youtube.com/TMASTL, or go back and listen later on. That's up to you. The Tim McKernan Show podcast. Time for us to take a break. This is TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Chow Chow on the Hill is your one-stop shop for all your pet supplies. As soon as you walk through their doors, you and your pet are considered family and treated with superior service and personalized attention. Jessica is the owner and is a certified pet nutritionist and is passionate about educating her clients on the product that will keep your pets happy and healthy. My favorite part about Chow Chow is its connection with All Paws Safe Haven, an organization that helps shelter animals find forever homes. To learn more about Chow Chow, visit CIAOCHOWSTL.com or stop by and tell them Plowsy sent you.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lutman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflutman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. This is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown and Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Yeah, that Plowboy's an interesting dude, but he loves animals, and he wants to help adoptable dogs find homes. With TMA listeners, catch Plowsy live on the TMA socials each week, highlighting a dog up for adoption from Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs, St. Charles County Pet Adoption Center, and All Paws Safe Haven. Plowsy's Pup of the Week, brought to you by Chow Chow on the Hill. Everything you need to keep your pet's tail wagging. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
I spent 4 years in San Francisco.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Doug, you had a request for Foster the People?
I did, yeah.
Tickets for Evolution go on sale today? Foster the People isn't coming, but I just...
Yes, they do. As well as Kelly Chase's event.
Yeah.
I would love to go to that. And I was sitting there thinking, I feel like I got something, though. It's April 5th for the record, and tickets available on Ticketmaster for Kelly Chase.
It's going to sell out quick. I would get your tickets right away.
Like Centene, that rank holds, I think, like 3,800.
Yeah.
But my sister's getting married out of town that weekend, so I will not be in St. Louis.
I might try to go.
I would love to go. I mean, for real, I would love to go.
Fun event, but it's for a good cause. So I'm going to spend money on things I like to donate when I can and support people like Kelly. And it'll be a fun afternoon.
Well, you're going to have some money if you take all this money to retire.
I have nothing to do. I'll be retired, just living off of these idiots' money.
Don't call them idiots.
Well,
if
they don't like me, so
retirement.
we're even.
Oh. Let's make sure we stave idiots for guys who missed 3-foot putts this weekend in Palm Beach Gardens, because it's time for the Munganass Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Doug, I believe it's your box after a nice win last week south of the border. And now it's on to the Cognizant Classic, formerly known as the Honda Classic, but Honda pulled its sponsorship because they were getting a field the caliber of the Fan Page Club Championship.
Oh, I don't blame them. Where are they playing it now?
Still at PGA National, but just is not sponsored by Honda, which was the longest-running sponsor on tour, I believe.
Yeah, that is. I think Cletus, Andy Hanselman, and Flora Flower down there.
How about that, Doug?
They're celebrating their 3-year anniversary of their gay rendezvous.
Oh, I got Michael Kim.
Yeah, you got him, and he's fun on Twitter, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't see him on Twitter.
But he's fun.
Should have picked Tom
That's why
Kim.
I picked him.
I know Doug won last week. He didn't win by much, though, did he?
Doesn't matter. You didn't win by much the week before.
I frankly don't remember all the...
Don't go back and look. I was just curious if you... Because I thought it was... I had like 420 points, which isn't bad for missing 2 cuts.
For doing research, it's not great either.
I had 2 guys in the top 5. Doug, I put a guy in this week that...
Just give us the name. It'd be fine.
You're going to be shocked, because this guy wouldn't even have been in your box.
I'd be shocked at nothing.
This guy wasn't even in your box. 2 weeks ago, had an 8th place finish, and he was top 5 in tee to green, which is nice for this course. Last week, another top 10. Mm-hmm. He was number 1 in scrambling. Number 1 is scrambling.
Is it Chan Kim season?
So he's got 2 consecutive top 8s.
Perhaps you could tell us who it is.
And I got him for 5,900.
5,900, wow.
Which means he won't make the cut. Andrew Novak.
I didn't even know that they went below 6,000.
Andrew
The game
Novak.
has changed.
Yeah, they got so many bad players in here.
Okay.
Boy, what happened to Garrick Higo that he's now
I don't
5,800?
know. Garrick Higo.
He won 2 years ago.
Justin Rose.
Oh,
Justin
Doug.
Rose.
Do PGA players play golf?
He won last year. He won the Pebble Beach last year. He's good for another 2 years. Well, he'd be good for as long as he wants to play, just for all-time money.
Okay.
And Doug, you're getting him at a nice value at 8,000. Is that the reason why you picked him, or do you like his play?
That's the reason. I looked away and picked his name right out of the hat.
Now
okay, you got a name?
Now I got money to play with, Doug. I put a 5,900 in there. So
look at the strategy. You're witnessing strategy.
Yeah, brilliant.
The guy just hits fairways. That's all he does.
Sure.
That's what I need in this tournament. So
unlike other tournaments where you don't want to be anywhere near the fairway.
I think I've played him 3 times this year already, but I'm going with Brendan Todd.
Okay.
How about that?
Brendan Todd.
Doesn't hit the ball long, Doug, which you don't need on this course.
No, you don't want to ever hit the ball long.
No, only play 7. Why don't you quit?
Why don't you shut up?
You don't know what to say, so you just threw a shut up in there.
Thomas Dietrich.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how he performs this week, Doug. You're right, because here's a guy who a lot of people were high on going into Mexico last week, and something just didn't work for him on the first round.
Bad water, probably.
As he shot a 78, but then bounced back and showed his capabilities with a fine 69. But that fine 69 wasn't enough to make the cut. So he's had a few days to think about it, and he'll try and bounce back. That's a high ceiling play at 6,900. I like what you're doing. A lot of game theory here.
Yeah. Had him on my team last week, Doug. My highest priced player missed the cut.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Okay.
He'll win this year. He'll win a tournament this year.
He'll win this week.
Not this week, but he's too good of a player.
Wait, you got to know the name?
Yeah, I do, Doug. I was just talking about your player, if you don't mind.
Vamping.
Now we're going into the 8,000s. This is my iffy play, Doug. Even though he's got a victory and a 4th place finish the last 2 years here, he's just all over the place sometimes. It's an iffy pick on mine. I'm going with Seb Straka.
The bastard Seb
Well,
Straka.
Doug, as you know, he has won at PGA National before. Can he find another win after getting cut 2 of his last 3 events? Going to be fun to watch this weekend. Going to be fun to watch.
I really enjoyed that week we spent down there at PGA National. That was a fun time.
Well, why don't we go back?
Well, we should.
Amen.
Doug's too busy in the Hamptons.
Jonathan Vegas.
Well, he just withdrew this morning, so I would recommend.
I got to get someone
No,
else.
you already picked him. You got to keep him.
Not if he's not in it.
What has happened to him?
I don't know what happened to him. Cameron Champ.
Cam Champ, there's a wide
Cameron
Delta guy,
Champ.
and boy, if there's somebody who Iggy would probably tell you is not built for this course, it's Cam Champ. There is a guy who can hit it a long way, but does he know where it's going?
No, that's what I said, Doug.
Yeah.
So, like, outside of, like, the major, do PGA golfers actually play golf? These last 3 events are just awful.
Cam Champ's last 5 events have been awful because he's been cut from 4 of those 5.
Oh.
I just don't. God, talk trash about Liv all you want, but at least they play their 54-hole rounds. I think got to take more time off than I've ever seen.
Rory's playing this week.
Oh, cool. He actually is?
Yeah.
I think Cam Champ made the cut last week, didn't he?
He did, but he missed the previous 4.
It's Iggy's turn. We'll have some long-winded explanation of hitting fairways and making putts.
No, a guy's taking a couple weeks off, and he's been on fire lately with a victory, a 4th place finish, a top 10 finish, taking a week off. I'm going with Pavon.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Pavon. P-O-V-N. There's an O in there.
P-O-V-N?
Jeremy Piven?
P-A-V-O-N. Matthew Pavon.
P-A-V-O-N.
I got to tell you, he is having a hell of a year. I saw him win at Torrey Pines, but this guy's all over the damn place.
Mm-hmm.
He is 3 top 10s, and his other event was the American Express, where he finished 39th, and he's only 8,700.
Brilliant play.
Smart play on my part.
Did you guys see that guy's swing from the winner of last week, that Jake Knapp swing?
Yes, we talked about that the other day.
God, is that
He
thing
barely swings, and the ball just flies off his club.
Yeah, well, if he plays this week like he played in the final round, he may shoot 80 today or tomorrow.
A lot of water out
But he
there,
won
Doug.
that tournament.
He had 2 fairways in his final round.
I'd kill for that tempo.
Maybe he'll dial it back a little bit on a tighter course.
Why don't you pick him?
Well, if I could, I would. I don't get the look.
Well,
Plowsy, the box, please.
Oh, I was just waiting for another explanation.
Yeah, I picked Pavon.
Okay, yeah, we heard. All right, let me reach in there. Yeah, I think I have just one. Okay. Here it is. Oh, Robbie Shelton.
Robbie Shelton has been selected.
Another high Delta guy. He pop up there on the leaderboard, and then you'll see him down at the bottom.
Doug, he was only 6,000. You're going to have so much money to play with there.
Okay.
And you get to pick your players, too, don't you? Isn't that Jamie's new thing? If you got money left over, you can pick your 2 players.
That is what Jamie talked to me about. However, we've kind of been hot with Doug just picking out the box, so I'm going to say we could keep running it until it falters.
Okay.
Doug's got 2 in a row.
And Doug, if he play any other week because he's hot and cold, but he owns this course, that's the reason I played. I'm going with Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry owns the course.
Probably should have won a couple years ago, except for they got screwed with the rain.
He did on the 18th tee. Doug, do you remember that? Where were you when you were watching?
I didn't watch it.
I think he had a top 5 last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, he owns the course. I think he's 6 for 6 in cuts made here.
This can be exhausting, this whole process. Let's pick one more. I got to reach. Okay. S.H. Kim.
Is that your final one?
I got 2 Kims. This is S.H. Kim.
Well, let's not see Woo.
Shaking that ass.
Okay.
Is that your last one?
That's it.
Oh, you got like 8,000 left over, don't you?
10,000.
Almighty.
You won't have any duplicate lineups of that one.
the way I like it.
Doug's highest priced player is Justin Rose at 8,000.
Sweet action.
Wow. And I haven't played my boyfriend yet this year.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah, and he's just, he's been tremendous. Tee to green all year long.
Min Woo?
Yeah. Mi Woo Kim.
Mi Woo Kim.
Mi Woo Lee, I'm sorry.
Isn't it Min?
Mi Woo Lee?
Min Woo Lee.
Who'd you pick?
Wow.
Min
Aren't you? Isn't
Woo Lee.
Don't you find him cute?
I do. That's why I said my boyfriend.
That's very odd.
His sister's adorable, too. What a
Okay.
great brother-sister combo.
Okay.
Min Woo Lee, Doug.
Getting creepy. Okay.
He's my highest priced player, 9,600.
Fascinating. Okay.
I can read KG in O-Town's
I think
lineup
you're in
as
trouble
well.
this week, Doug.
KG in O-Town sent in his lineup. He will have this week Bezadenhout, Cole, Cole. Is that Eric Cole? Doug.
Eric Cole, who finished second last year in a playoff.
Yeah. 9,900 for him. Doug, you say Jim or Gim?
Doug Gim?
Doug Gim, Maverick McNeely, Brendan Todd, and Cam Young.
There you go.
Okay.
Doug, it'll be a fun weekend.
Ah, yes, weekend.
And it'll be a fun weekend if you're working with C.D. Longo and Doug Biggs of Longo Biggs. If you are injured in a car accident and you need an attorney, you need the best one you can find. If any of my family or friends are ever injured in an accident, I want them to call Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo at Longo Biggs Injury Law. For nearly 10 years, Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo have been recognized as the top 40 under 40 personal injury lawyers by Super Lawyers, the National Academy of Personal Injury Attorneys, and the National Trial Lawyers Association. They're not the churn and burn type of law firm. With Doug and CD, you won't beat us another file loss in the shuffle. You have questions about your case, you'll talk to Doug or CD personally, and they will handle every aspect of your case the entire way. They'll get to know you, and you will get to know them. Doug and CD are local, friendly, professional, and most importantly, excellent personal injury lawyers. Plus, they're listeners of the show. It's Longo Biggs online at longobiggs.com. That's LONGOBIGGS.com. Longo Biggs. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on an advertisement. We'll have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today coming up in an hour. Didn't have it yesterday, as we had one hell of an 8 o'clock hour. Sweet mother of mercy. Ed Herman was bringing it yet again. Then Kelly Chase, who was scheduled at 9 o'clock, didn't necessarily care to wait for us to break, just walked in the door, kind of stood over Ed.
Right.
And Ed got up, got a selfie with him, and then said, I'll talk to you boys next week. And then Chase sat down, and wow, if you haven't watched that interview or gone back and listened to it, I would really recommend it. And because of what was an hour and 45 minute, I would guess 8 o'clock hour, we did not have time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. We will have it today, coming up at about 9:45. Jeremy Rutherford will join us, brought to you by Mark Hanna, coming up here in a matter of moments. 2-part questions for him via the Jeff Lotman Compass Realty text inbox 314-881-TMA5. And we'll see what he has to say about this trade deadline, which is now 9 days away. He caught a lot of attention 2 days ago on Balloon Party when he said it's 50 to 60% that Cairo gets traded before his no-trade clause kicks in. So we'll talk it over with JR as the Blues lose again last night, and we'll try to stave off Connor McDavid tonight in Edmonton before heading back to St. Louis take on the Wild on Saturday, 5 o'clock start, and then back out on the road they go, this time to the Northeast. Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, Boston.
That'd be the Northeast, yeah. I'd be interested in seeing how teams around the league do on these Western Canada road trips. Because whenever the Blues go, they always hit Winnipeg. And then
Well, they have problems with Winnipeg.
And then Calgary, and then usually Vancouver. And it seems like it would be a benefit to those Western Canadian teams to get these teams that are on week-and-a-half-long road trips. I don't know if the one-loss record bears that out, but it seems like it would be a bit of an advantage to have all these teams on extended road trips when they come to play you.
Winnipeg is like 21-7 this year at home. How about that? Well, Winnipeg's a great team, number one. Gary Bettman addressed the fans yesterday in Winnipeg because there's a fear that they might be moving yet again. Who did the Winnipeg Jets become when they moved the first time? Anybody? Nurse?
Hartford?
Nurse? No. Nurse.
Can I have initials of the city?
They don't play it, and by definition, their first name is not a city, so there's a hint.
Quebec?
Nope. This is where they moved to. This isn't where they moved from. So the original
Carolina?
Winnipeg Jets, nope, that's the Whalers.
Could we please have the initial?
California Golden Seals.
No.
Nice.
They were original.
The District of Columbia.
Nope. They play on a college campus.
Oh, Arizona.
Yeah. So Walter was in Winnipeg and then went to what I think was called Phoenix at the time.
Nice. Moved from Winnipeg to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Yes,
not bad.
please.
And then got traded to St. Louis. And the team that became this version of the Winnipeg Jets was, anybody, Nurse?
Thrashers?
Yes, Jackson. I feel like that was looked up.
No.
And Walt was there too for a while.
I was a big Thrashers guy. That's why I'm not into hockey anymore.
Right. You were so upset by them moving?
Well, yeah. Bring hockey back to the Peach State.
They might. A lot of talk of Atlanta and Houston.
Run it back a third time.
A lot of talk of it.
Atlanta has a lot of sports. It's a huge town, but hockey, they said, we're just not doing that.
The Atlanta Flames before the Calgary Flames.
Yeah. It's a huge market, and the NHL wants to be there, but they just don't
Just like
support
Houston.
it at all.
It's another top 10 market that doesn't have one.
Right.
All right, we'll take a break, come back with Jeremy Rutherford, Mark Hanna, and then the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. The program is called TMA, and it is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at tmastl.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding
bringing us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. James, I love getting emails from listeners who support the sponsors. Got one from a client of yours who switched, and you immediately saved him $1,000, and it meant the world to him.
The area that we're really having an impact on people's finances are people with drivers under the age of 25. We are seeing material savings for these types of clients, hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars per year.
James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. Yeah, that Plowboy's an interesting dude, but he loves animals, and he wants to help adoptable dogs find homes. With TMA listeners, catch Plowsy live on the TMA socials each week, highlighting a dog up for adoption from Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs, St. Charles County Pet Adoption Center, and All Paws Safe Haven. Plowsy's Pup of the Week, brought to you by Chow Chow on the Hill. Everything you need to keep your pet's tail wagging. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
It's the morning after.
KPNT FM HD2,
Collinsville, St. Louis.
My opinion, I don't know. It's up to you.
It's top 10 at least.
Top 10 sickest. Mark Hanna's in studios and shaved his beard. A lot of talk about it. Jackson, are you mad at Mark Hanna for shaving his beard?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Interesting. Okay, you're at least consistent.
Yeah. If you can grow a beard, you should.
Hold on, let me make a note. Yep. Get Jackson's permission before applying the lather.
Oh. Basically, any grooming thing I should be at least talked to.
But you can't grow a beard yourself, Jackson?
I can. It's just the colors are weird. It's like white on my face and red on my neck.
Can I sponsor that?
Oh.
What about that, Jackson? You can grow a beard for Keish.
I mean, we can try. It's not going to look good. It took me like 2 weeks to grow a mustache to a point where you could like make it out from 10 feet away. So.
I think I'm getting aroused.
It's a long-term investment.
I'm not.
I am too. It's great when four guys get in a small room and get aroused together. It's my kind of scene.
I got the same thing. Yeah.
You're aroused.
Had I never shaved my upper lip, I still wouldn't have a mustache.
Is that right?
No.
Plowhawk, how quickly could you eat? Because you got your mustache going right now.
I could do a beard in about 2 weeks. For one, yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, but I just tuned the mustache. Sometimes the goatee. It's too itchy on the neck. Maybe because I'm not used
well, I
to
trim
it. But
the neck, but then this grows. I'll probably shave this again. Well, now that Mark's shaved,
I get irritated with it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a ninny.
Yeah.
So I get irritated. Oh, I can feel the whiskers. So I just get rid of it.
Yeah, I could grow like one hell of a neck beard. But,
that's hot.
Yeah, but I didn't go to Vianney.
Test the, no, that's the Peach Fuzz mustache. Test the loyalty of your new love interest by just growing a neck beard and see how long she stays. If she stays, you know you got to keep her. It's like Chaz Palminteri in Bronx Tale.
Yeah. We've talked. The clean shaven's the way to go.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
You're a clean shaven boy?
Oh, yeah.
You're having a big day with drops.
You got any hair on your back, Jackson?
No, lucky to avoid most body hair. I got like a little South City backyard of chest hair.
Now, what does that mean right there? That was very condescending.
Well,
Mark,
like-
I mean, I know you're South County, not South City, but you still have to take offense to that, don't you?
Well, a lot of the
I support it.
a lot of the backyards in South City are perfect squares or perfect rectangles, and that's kind of
Well,
what
we
I have.
can't afford a bunch of property.
Well,
Sorry. We didn't grow up on the acreage you did.
It's not a reflection of the affluence. It's just the geometry of the backyards are usually quite square.
So your back is square?
No, I don't have any back or shoulder hair, brother.
He was talking about his chest hair.
Yeah.
He's got a landing strip on his chest?
He does.
It's more, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, what lands there?
Well, don't act coy.
Oh.
Soppings.
Yeah, gentlemen's.
All right.
Is Jeremy Rutherford on the line?
He is. He's been listening to this.
You got to be listening and learning. Morning, JR. You're sponsored by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
Oh, just listening and learning. Hey, Mark. A couple of things, Tim. First of all, I don't know if anybody said this yet, but I'd like to donate some money for Iggy to stay.
Oh, wow.
There you go, Iggy.
Money's coming in on both sides,
Yeah.
Doug. We're like a Vegas casino.
Yeah, he wins both ways. All right, well, we'll give him the word. He's out now, cutting some business deals.
Right.
And then a little bit of a bone to pick. Yesterday, about 10 o'clock in the morning, I met with Kelly Chase, and we sat down and had a conversation at Starbucks. And Tim, I'm tearing up, listening to him. And we're going to put together an article for The Athletic. And I get a phone call in the afternoon from a friend who is a faithful listener. And he said that, hey, you should have heard TMA today. Kelly Chase was amazing, unbelievable. And I said, yeah, I just met with him. And as I began to tell him some of the things that Chaser had said and that I put in the article and I thought were very emotional, he goes, yeah, he said all that on TMA. You should listen to it. It was really good.
We scooped you, didn't we?
So thanks for
stealing your
having
thunder.
a great interview, so I can look like I'm mooching off you here.
How was the conversation? Because Chaser loves busting your balls, and I know you guys have a good relationship. And I'm telling you, man, for real, I'm dead serious about this. We've done this thing now for a couple of decades. And I mean, obviously, it's an emotional and a very sad set of circumstances. But for him to talk as vulnerably, I guess would be the best way to describe it, was one of my favorite segments in our show's history, just because I think the world of him, and I know so many people in St. Louis and around the NHL and beyond think the world of that guy.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and I'm going to go back and listen to the interview. You guys always do a great job with that, and yeah, to answer your question, it was totally different. Like it was, like you said, you go back a few years, and he's always busting your balls about everything. I mean, everything. I've told you guys 3 or 4 of the stories, and we're sitting at Starbucks, and he's just kind of taking you step by step through, which he did with you, and just to see, like you said, the vulnerability in his voice. And I looked up to Kelly Chase ever since I was a 15-year-old watching the Blues play. Like I would tune in to watch 39 throw his fists, and then to get to know him when you're on the beat and see what a nice guy is and a giving guy. Here's a guy who's given to so many charities and helped with so many things, and now he's on the other end of it. And he did say, it's brought to him an awareness that, hey, when you're helping these sick people or underprivileged people, how much it means to them, because he can feel the outpouring of support. So just a great guy. It's so tough to see him in that position, and I'm sure you guys did a wonderful job bringing that out.
Well, I appreciate it, but Kelly Chase is just one of those guys. It doesn't matter how good the interviewer is. He's just such a great storyteller that he's going to be incredible. But in that particular situation, I didn't know all those details. I don't know how much he's talked about it. So your story on The Athletic will be, I'm sure you're going to have plenty of stuff, because I don't think a lot of people know the details behind it. I mean, I didn't realize he thought he had gout, and then 90 minutes later he's being told he has an aggressive form of leukemia. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't. Right.
That is.
Yeah, you don't have gout, and then to hear those words, and I'm sure he shared some of the details. But bringing the Peloton into the hospital,
yeah.
Chris Kerber went to visit with him, and I said, "Kerbs, how's he doing?" This is weeks ago, and he said that he's doing laps around the hospital, during the treatment, and he's got the nurse at the front desk with a pen and paper marking down the laps, and every time she misses one, he's yelling, "Hey, that's 7. Okay, Kelly, I got this." some more laps.
That is outstanding. Jeremy Rutherford with us here every Wednesday, brought to you by the great Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, online at evergreenstl.com, and you can call him at 314-889-0503. That's Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. JR, I feel like we have reached the tipping point. Maybe we were already here, but with the performance in the last 10 days or so, it's tough to believe that the Blues were in a position to bring potentially a threat to the LA Kings for the 7th wild card spot and establish a larger gap between them and the Predators for the 8th spot on that Saturday game. And now they wake up this morning after losing to Winnipeg 4-2 last night, 6 points back of the 8th place spot in the Western Conference and staring down the Edmonton Oilers in a matter of 12 hours. This is a season on the brink.
Yeah, all in 10 days, too. As you mentioned, that game against the Nashville Predators at Enterprise Center, you win that game and you go up 6 points on the Predators. And I think, big picture, we all know who this team is and what they're not capable of, but you were in that hunt. And I think to just see in 10 days that kind of disappear, to go from potentially being up 6 points on the Predators to now being 6 points down. And as you mentioned, the Oilers tonight, Oilers are rested, Blues are coming off a tough loss to Winnipeg. This is a precarious position. But like I've been trying to say all along with Doug Armstrong, he knows what kind of team he's got. I don't think that even if they were 2 points back, that he's going to invest anything here at the trade deadline. Now that they're 6 points back, maybe do they deal a Marco Scandella at the deadline? I think that could be the case, and then you get a guy like Matt Kessel back up here. But Tim, definitely the situation looks bleak for the Blues right now. Like, you look at 6 points and it doesn't seem like much, but you can play 700 hockey for a week or two and make up 2 of those points. So it's really tough at this point of the season.
And do you think that there's a sense, if this is a season, if we're at the tipping point, is the locker room resilient enough that they could find it in themselves to go on a 700 run, or do you think that the locker room is seeing this as well? Are you sensing anything there?
Yeah, I think they're seeing it, Mark, and that's not to say that they're not going to fight back in some of these games, but that Nashville game was the perfect game to have that type of performance, and they didn't. And then you go into Detroit, Drew Bannister told them, hey, the start's going to be all important here, and you're down 3-0 before you have a shot on goal. So the way I see this group, I don't see a group that's going to come out of this with a resiliency, and then all of a sudden we're going to be talking about being 2 points up in a playoff spot here in a couple weeks, because they've had those opportunities and they haven't shown it.
Where do you think they need the most help right now? Is it as simple as just better offense, scoring more goals?
Yeah, and I think, just to look at that, Doug, this last 7 games, they've lost 5 of them. They've been outscored 23-8 in that stretch, and then they've been outscored 10-2 in the first period. So they're getting out to those tough starts like that Detroit game, and then it's just impossible to kind of get back. You see last night they pull within 1, and then they're back down 2 again. So scoring is the biggest deal. But honestly, I keep going back to the big picture, and you guys might get tired of hearing it, listeners too, is that this is what this is. This is a retool. Like, we're looking at this team and saying, well, they need this, well, they need that. Well, I think everybody knew that going into the season. You just had to let the season play out and then let Doug do his thing in terms of trying to massage the retool a little bit. So, I think that when you watch the team, I just went into the gym, insert your own Jeremy at the gym joke there, but I just went into the gym and had 3 or 4 people saying they need this and they need that. And yeah, they do, but that's what this period is. And the Blues haven't gone through this in a long, long time, 10 years, but they're going through it now.
Jeremy Rutherford with us here on TMA. He's presented to you every Wednesday by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, online at evergreenstl.com. We welcome our audience to send in their 2-part questions, 314-881-TMA5, the Jeff Lottman Compass Realty text inbox, JEFFLOTTMANN.com, to find Jeff and have him sell your home or help you buy a home. JR, who goes first, Bucci or Kyrou? Also, if you haven't yet, I would get those big pancake nipples out in the locker room, because that should fire the boys up and we can go win this cup. That's from Mr. Siders.
Is Siders saying that because today's National Pancake Day?
Oh, is that right?
Is it really?
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Special day for you.
You guys act like I would not know that. Yeah, that's National Pancake Day. But IHOP's trying to get away with something. They declared their own National Pancake Day, which was recently, but today is the official day. So if you ever need somebody to tell you when the official day is, ask somebody who's 300 pounds. It's today.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I am not going to get those out because I do not think that would fire them up to the level that they need to be fired up.
But you said you went to the gym. Which gym, and were you wearing yoga pants? Question.
They have a buffet at this gym that I go to, and I do have the tights on. So
nice. That's just nice.
Not Lululemon, but the cheaper version, the Arnold version.
Usually I'm more focused on the second questions, but in this case, I know people. Your comment on Balloon Party the other day, I would imagine you're aware of this, got the Twitter tweets going and a number of Blues fans groups going because, as I was saying on TMA yesterday and on Balloon Party yesterday for that matter, somebody like me saying I really think they should trade Kyrou. I think they should trade Buchnevich. I think they will trade Kyrou. I think they will trade Buchnevich. I'm a clown boy, but you saying it and you saying 50 to 60%, that caught people's attention. And to be clear, you weren't saying you thought that was going to happen in the next 9 days by the deadline, but by the time that no trade clause kicked in. And I think for some Blues fans, that really surprised them to hear. So let's revisit that now, although I don't know how much changed in between Monday and this morning, JR. But specific to the upcoming trade deadline, Buchnevich, and then in general, Kyrou for the TMA audience who may not have heard you on 101.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm a clown boy too, so we're in the same boat there. But with Buchnevich, I just think it's going to come down to something that's pretty obvious is do you get wowed with an offer between now and March 8th? It's possible, but do you expect it? Probably not. It's tough for a cap team, a contending team, to fit a $5.8 million cap hit, even though it's lesser now at the end of the season, into the fold. But if they did do it, they would get 2 playoff runs out of the player, Buchnevich, this year and next year. So, I wouldn't anticipate that happening, but I do think it's possible in the off season. And with regard to Kyrou, and yeah, when you mention 50, 60% chance that a player could get traded before, a year from now, 2025, when his no trade kicks in, I think it does set off a little bit of alarm bells. I think the situation with Kyrou, and I always go back to Doug Armstrong. What has he done in the past? When he sees an issue, he tries to address it no matter how big it is. You look back at some of the things he's done. He traded Eric Johnson, the number 1 overall pick. He said, I don't see the player there that everybody sees or wants to see, and he moved him. And I think we've seen other situations throughout the year where Doug Armstrong has taken drastic action to alter the core of his team, and I can see him doing that with Jordan Kyrou. The key here in all this, and this goes back to the timing, could it be done before the deadline? I don't think so in a million years. Could it be done before the no trade kicks in 2025? It's possible. But the thing is, if he's not playing well, other teams are going to see that too. They already see it. So then it becomes, how little in return are the Blues getting back for a Jordan Kyrou? How badly do they want to move him on? And I think that's what it'll eventually come down to.
Couldn't a comparable for Kyrou be like a Jonathan Huberdeau, who had so many points in Florida, and he was able to fetch Matthew Tkachuk? Look at his performance now. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a comparable in a trade.
Yeah, a talented player with a ton of points. He was doing it in Florida with Barkov and those guys, and now he's on the other side of 30, and he's got that 8-year contract as well that he signed with Calgary. So he's going to be a guy who's into that mid to late 30s with that contract. So you're right in terms of potential talent and the skill and some of the points he's put up, but definitely an older guy who we've seen maybe he's on a decline because he hasn't played well the past couple years.
Yeah, I would think Kyrou could fetch something along those lines, given what he's been able to do in the past and his potential.
Hey, JR,
and that would,
go ahead.
That
I'm
would
sorry.
depend on if they wanted to go into a an older type, win now type mentality as opposed to what it seems like they're doing to go into these younger guys.
Right. Let's see. Good morning, JR. Yes, it's a retool. However, Jordan Kyrou is supposed to be a pillar of the retool. What in the world are we going to do with him? That's why this is a major, major problem. That's from Harrison's brother, Master.
Yeah, and that's the thing, guys, is the salary cap's at 83 now. I think it's going to go up to, 88 next year, and it'll probably go up the year after, too. So it's going to rise. So that $8.125 million that Jordan Kyrou has, that salary cap hit is a big one. It's going to look a little bit smaller as that cap rises, but it's still going to be a good chunk of change. And especially if you're in a retool, what is ownership going to approve in terms of the budget? Are the Blues going to continue to increase their salary as the salary cap goes up? You don't know that answer right now. Tom Stillman, Doug Armstrong haven't talked about that, so we'll find out. But either way, 8.125 is nothing to sneeze at. And if you've got a top 6 spot spoken for with Kyrou and you can't move him, it's one less talented guy that you can bring in and try to help you. So, all this isn't meant to bang on Kyrou on his nights. He's a good player, but we've just seen too much inconsistency, and with that big ticket and with that long term, it's hard to envision a deal where you could get back equal value and even find a suitor at this point based on what we've seen here in St. Louis.
Don't want to overplay that game against the Red Wings so much, but I also think another comparable, the ceiling on somebody like Kyrou is Patrick Kane, the guy that has so much talent, and he really goes out and displays it, especially right off the bat. So the hope for a guy like a Kyrou, now it's harder at age 25, is that he sees what Patrick Kane does, especially right in his face, and is able to turn it around. Do you think that that's a fair ceiling comparable, or is that maybe going too far?
Yeah, Mark, no, I think that, early in Jordan Kyrou's career, when you saw the flash, you saw the speed, this is a guy who could become a star in the league. Obviously, it's kind of apples and oranges when you look at Kane, a number 1 overall pick. Those are generational players. He's right in the conversation for best American player in history. Kyrou's second-round pick, and, takes him 2 or 3 years to get to the league. So different situation there, but I think in terms of the potential talent that could have been there, maybe if you have the work ethic of a Patrick Kane or guys like Kane, even if you look at some of the second-round picks, where maybe Jordan Kyrou was selected in the draft, there's the potential to be there. You just gotta want to see the work ethic and the desire to be that guy, and we've seen that desire from Kane for a decade plus, and I don't know that we've seen that same desire here with Kyrou.
All the hockey talk is great, but I can't get past the pink leggings you're wearing at the gym. Do you have a cute top to go with that?
Cut that off.
I don't have a top, and even if I did have a good one, I doubt it'd be cute.
Oh, darn it.
I did have a hockey follow-up. If we're trying to replace a pillar, couldn't you go, again, old? You could go old school. You could bring back some pillars, some guys that could replace that value, but with probably a lower price tag. You could even bring back 2. You could have a Denny Felsner and a Nelson Emerson.
That's what the Cardinals are doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's the other, Tony McKegney?
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all.
Number 10.
Tony Herkus.
Bad idea.
Big number 18.
Double overtime against the Blackhawks. Was that 89, Doug?
Oh, yeah,
I think
something
he had
like that.
4
I don't know
goals
the
in a
years
playoff
ago.
game, too.
That might be it. JR, before we let you go, by the way, I want to get your perspective on where things sit with Drew Bannister. What do you think's going on there?
Yeah, actually, I've thought about that here in the last 24 hours. It's a situation where, I think that he's done a lot with what he's been given. I think that his ability to hold players accountable, like he's done with Buchnevich, Kyrou Thomas, has been, I think, very good to see. Fans like to see that stuff. Whoever is the full-time coach, you want to see that from that guy. I just look at the lack of success here down the stretch, and I wonder if Doug Armstrong is thinking to himself, we can hire this guy. He can probably do a pretty good job, but the unknown of, are we going to be hiring a new coach in 2 years? Because we just don't know with this person. Doug Armstrong cannot put himself in a position to be doing that in 2 years. He can't. So I think he's got to be 100% sure, and I think in order to be 100% sure, you probably have to go with somebody who has experience. And I say that with all the respect in the world, for Drew Bannister, getting to know him a little bit, knowing what he's about, what he's trying to accomplish, and what he can do with this team. I just wonder if Doug Armstrong knows, okay, if I want to turn this thing around and I want to leave on a good note, Tim, he's talked about that. I want to leave in a better position than when I got here with this franchise. I just feel like he's going to if he's going to think to himself, he's got to bring in a guy with a lot of NHL experience. We've seen that trend with some teams this year, and they've turned things around, and I feel like Doug Armstrong might be leaning towards that way. That's based on nothing. He doesn't tell anybody what he's thinking. I'm just looking at the situation and saying, okay, if Drew Bannister rallied this team in the playoffs and they won a round, I think he's got a pretty good shot. But I think in the case that they're in right now, Doug Armstrong's probably going to opt for probably something bigger where he knows there's a little bit of a situation where he can count on the guy moving forward.
Let me follow up with this. Jim Montgomery, of course, was with the Blues. I know you developed a rapport with him. He won the Jack Adams last year, and the situation in Boston has been a little chaotic here as of late, even though the Bruins had a ridiculous regular season last year and they're having another good one this year. Do you think that there would be any potential for him to come to St. Louis?
Yeah, well, I guess, if you look at it from the perspective of if things don't go well in Boston, but they have gone well, and, I'm sure if you had another upset in the first round of the playoffs, then they'd revisit that. But as you mentioned, just things have gone so well in the regular season, and if that playoff last year was a fluke and they do well this year, then, I think they would continue to stick together in Boston. But, yeah, the one thing Doug Armstrong does do is he's kept a great relationship with people, including a Jim Montgomery. Whenever people leave St. Louis, half the time I hear about them going out to lunch. Heck, you got Craig Ruby scouting. You got Ken Hitchcock came back. Like, those are all solid relationships. So if that opportunity existed, for sure Doug Armstrong could and would pursue it. I just don't know that would be an option.
Yeah, it could be a tough spot for either way. I mean, you got the pressure on in both markets with a good chance that the Bruins and Leafs face each other in the first round. So you're going to have a Banty bunch of fans there if those two teams meet, because one of them is going to be gone after the first round, and if the Bruins have another great regular season with a disappointment playoff, I'd be curious, just because there's some stuff going on with the Bruins right now, and then you got the tie-in with Montgomery and St. Louis. So yeah, if he is going to pivot away from Bannister to a more established coach, that would be one, and in Montgomery with the St. Louis ties. So I wanted to see what you thought on that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not saying Keefe is that established guy, but if Boston were to win that first-round series, and Toronto axes Sheldon Keefe, and he might be a guy that could interest some teams around the league, including the Blues.
There you go, Doug. Look at that. Okay. We're breaking things down here. What do you think about that? And the guy's got pancake nipples and Lululemons in Jefferson County?
If you don't have a cute top to go with the leggings, you're spinning your wheels.
I agree with you, but the only thing is, find me the world's cutest top, I'll put it on, and it won't be cute.
Clip that off.
Says you.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah. We'll decide what we're attracted to in here.
We like thick men.
I agree with you. Okay, $100 for Iggy to stick around.
I'm sorry, we're over $1.3 million for him to go. So at this point, I don't know if that 100's going to resonate. JR, thank you so much.
See you, boys.
There he is. That's
All right,
Jeremy
thank you,
Rutherford.
Runcie.
And he's in an uncute top.
Yeah.
Out at the Jefferson County 24-hour fitness.
With pink leggings.
That's right. That's got to play well there.
Again, do you think the Athletic has a dress code?
It would have to be rather low, just in general. Doug, what do you call them? The ink-stained wretches?
Yeah, that's the sports writers are ink-stained wretches. They probably all work from home nowadays, don't they? They go to the game and then they go home. Yeah. Imagine there's too many offices.
He was in Winnipeg last night, flew back to work out at the 24-hour fitness in Jefferson County, and then he's heading up to Alberta.
He's got to show himself off.
Yeah. So that's what he does. That's the commitment to both his craft, but also his fitness routine.
I can't imagine there's very many people going into like the Post-Dispatch anymore, are there? Is there any reason to, really? I imagine they all write at home, work the phones.
Well, especially in that business where they're trying to cut every dollar that they can to have that real estate. It's got to be really expensive.
I would think, yeah.
Oh, didn't mean to make a downtown reference there. Sorry.
Well, you did. And it hurts.
Mark Hanna is with Evergreen Wealth Strategies, and he's with us right now, and he's freshly shorn, Doug. You like that? Freshly shorn,
Freshly shorn.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to yesterday's interview. Just the greatest comments. And what I was thinking about it is, yes, it's Kelly Chase, and he has that charisma, and he has that ability to draw people in any situation. But all credit to him. We've all seen and witnessed when people go through life challenges. He's using his platform as an opportunity, irrespective of what he's taking on, which you can hear in his voice that he is dealing with a lot of emotion about it. But rather than looking inward, what a compliment to the man who's using it as an opportunity to to do good elsewhere. It was, you said on Balloon Party, it was one of your favorite segments. And as a listener listening to it, it was hard to listen to, but you couldn't turn it off. And it's for somebody, I lost my father to cancer. I lost one of my best friends to cancer. I've witnessed this before. To think he's using this as an opportunity to make such a massive difference in the world. I'm on cloud nine just thinking about it. Wow. And my hat's off to him in such an incredible way.
Couldn't agree more. That's a great way to characterize it, because he went out of his way a couple of different times to say both he and Raylan, his wife, don't want to know the numbers, as in his circumstance, and it's an aggressive form of leukemia, as in what, they give you percentages, whatever they may be.
Never tell him the odds.
And he said, don't tell me the odds, because my percentage is going to be different than somebody else's, and my level of pain tolerance is going to be different than somebody else's. Not to say that it's because I'm something special, but it's just what I did for a living. So it's just we're built differently, and then furthermore, psychologically, what's it matter? I got to deal with it. But either way, he's in a battle. He just completed his 3rd round of chemotherapy. He has 2 more to go. The final one will take place 2 days after that game on April 5th, and you can get tickets for it on Ticketmaster now. But that even in the face of that, Mark, he is working his ass off to put this game together to benefit both the Jimmy V Foundation and Siteman. And with respect to Siteman, I think a lot of it is the gratitude he has for what he has received from the staff there, which anybody who has been in there raves about. And then he talked about the great fortune we have in St. Louis to have Siteman here, along with, we really do have incredible medical treatment relative to other cities, some bigger than St. Louis and obviously some smaller. But also because he sees how sick most of the people are around him in comparison. And so he's seeing that firsthand because he's doing those laps around each day. And it gives you an idea of the kind of guy he is. And that's why so many people are affected by this, because they respect him so much. That was on full display yesterday.
Chemotherapy is designed to destroy your body. And it's not, there's going to be a finish line for all of us. Here's a guy who's saying, it's not about the finish line for me. It's about, I am dealing with this now. We all deal with things in life. I'm dealing with this now. I'm feeling this pain right now, but I'm not going to stop. Jimmy V, don't give up. He's not going to give up. He's just going to keep on going. There's a message there for whatever people are going through in life. Keep going, keep getting back up. And whether it be something spiritual that's motivating you to do that, whether it be your family that's motivating you, a greater purpose for your community, whatever it is. I think of that journey that he's on and using that where he reached out to you. He said, hey, can I come in and do this?
Mm-hmm. He just barged through the door is what he did.
I would expect nothing less. Yeah. I'll give him room if he comes on in. He's bigger than me. But to see him at that game, and you saw him on the screen, and wow, it's striking. He talked about how people reacted and scared for him.
Yeah.
But again, he's not backing down. He's not giving up. And what a great message of wherever you are, whatever you're dealing with. My heart's aglow for it, and it's aching, and I love that he's doing it.
He's the best, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad that it resonated with the audience like it did. I'm so grateful that he wanted to come in, because I know if somebody comes in, that means they're going to go, so to speak. Yeah. And he certainly did. So thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the great Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
Thank you, Hansy.
EvergreenSTL.com.
Bye,
the gallery.
boys.
There he is, Mark Hanna, freshly shorn. He's coming back with a beard next week, though.
Shorn.
Yeah. Jackson's mad about
Well, thank you, Hansy.
me and Mark shaving.
Yeah. I'm not old enough to do that yet.
Send your emails in, Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. We'll have a full one for you since we didn't do it yesterday. And then Jackson and I will deal with the situation down the hallway. We are going to be fine. We appreciate your concern, but we will be fine. Jackson, let Doug know what's coming up, because he's going to podcast it while he flies to the Hamptons today.
Yeah. Jackson.
Doug, has anybody seen Jackson?
Jackson.
Anybody seen my nurse?
Hey, maybe he's out there with Hansy.
Nurse?
Jackson.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Oh,
What's up,
where,
guys?
where were you?
I was giving some love to Mark Hanna.
Okay, I figured.
It's my guy.
Whew, okay.
What was the question?
Doug wanted to know what's coming up on Balloon Party.
Oh.
101 ESPN.
Wide Berth Wednesday.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that
you
you're...
look at the show notes?
I'm glad you're getting with the program at this point, Doug.
Okay.
So, yeah, plenty to talk about. Looking forward to where the conversation goes.
That's no tease.
I think it's a great tease.
I don't know.
It's like a mix. It's like a trail mix. You know, you might pull out an M&M or a
Coming up
cashew.
next on Balloon Party, we'll see where the conversation goes. Stay with us. That's it?
That was a good tease. I'm going to cut that right now. Send it to Ryder.
Not bad. Send your emails in. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Coming your way in about 10 minutes. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Only today's show and tomorrow's show left in the month of February. So, we got Buck Swope and Kevin Miller tied at 4 apiece. Blueberry Pop, Flocky, the Smurf, JV golf coach, all still eligible with 2 wins apiece, but they got to win today and tomorrow to force a sudden death playoff on Friday. KG and O-Town will be in while Doug is vacationing in the Hamptons. And then Jackson and I will return for QFT, our first one since this past Friday. Send your emails in, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com, TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. Anything and everything is welcome, and we will do that at about... I'd say 11:30. Doug, I think we have a sales meeting at 11 o'clock, but I don't think it's going to be like an hour-long sales meeting. So, Jackson, you'll upload Balloon Party. Then we'll come in here, and we're going to get it on. On YouTube.com/TMA STL. EDF gets it on for you. Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hired and will prevent your facility from having high fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com and think about it. Doug, you're pissed we didn't get to the Cavs call of Max Struss's...
Hell yeah.
I saw the video. I'd like to hear the call.
Yeah,
Sure.
right. Here it is.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
I got you, Doug.
This is the Cavs call.
Plowsy,
Yeah, we
hit
have
the
Cavs
lever.
and Mavs. This is Cavs.
Pass deflected by Mobley, but grabbed by Doncic. Doncic bounced underneath the PJ, and he laid it in with 2.6 to go. Cavs out of timeout. Strus into Mobley. Back to Max. Half-court shot. Good! Good! He hit it! Cavs win! This place is going crazy!
How about that? Now, on the other hand, you have the Mavericks broadcasters response.
Okay, I'd like to hear that too. Hit the lever, please, Plowsy. Go ahead, hit the lever.
And Luka comes away with it. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, underneath Washington. 2.6 to go. They're out of timeouts. Dallas leads by 1. Mobley, Strus, a heave. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Max Strus, I don't believe it.
They got to review it.
Strus hit it from 60 feet. Absolute heartbreak city.
It was a great
Heartbreak
finish.
City.
He shot that too like it was a free throw or
He
something.
did.
It looked like it was going in all the way.
It was nuts.
Yeah, it's like Rip Hamilton on College Game Day this past Saturday. It's like he hasn't played in God only knows how long. They're up there at UConn, half court. Right there.
Yeah, Strus was playing like the rent was due at the last 2 minutes. And
Oh, you like that? Bring that for the Sports Center
stop
update.
that.
Bring that for the Sports Center update.
He's playing his ass off. That was a great finish.
Where did he play in college? I don't remember him.
He is. He was like I think really under like a small ass school. Max Strus, of course. Doug eventually played for DePaul. He's from Hickory Hills, Illinois.
Where's that?
We got to have him on.
It's a suburb of Chicago.
Is it? Mm-hmm. All right. I don't remember
What's it going to be like when the T-Wolves go up against the Cavs in the NBA Finals?
Anthony Edwards might have popped his Achilles last night,
Uh-oh.
so I'd be a little concerned on that. But the Cavs are red hot. Shout out to the Cavaliers and all my Cavalier fans.
Yeah. Denver have a shot to repeat?
Sure. You got Jokic on your team. You always got a shot.
Okay, don't scold me.
I'm not trying
Just
to.
Just trying to
I'm
get
not
the
trying
expert
to.
opinion.
Well, I'm
Somebody'd
not trying.
rather watch that than the Miracle on Ice.
That's right. What's going on in Milwaukee is what has people really concerned.
What's going on up there?
They've won 3 straight. That's a red-hot team.
They've hired Doc Rivers. Defense hasn't improved. Dame seems to be. I don't know.
Well, what's going on with this couple getting married in a gas station men's bathroom also has people concerned. Take a listen, Doug.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Hit the lever,
open it
please,
up.
Plowsy.
Sorry, I didn't know if we were
We
going
have
to
audio of that? It was broadcast?
I didn't know if we were going to get to it or not.
One of your favorites.
It's a rest stop, a gas station, and now a wedding venue. Yeah, a local couple. They tied the knot last week at a northern Kentucky hop shop. Brenda Ordonez spoke to the newlyweds. She is live from the spot where they said, I do. We could only guess where you are.
Well, Trisha, Megan, I'm in the men's bathroom at the Verona Hop Shops, and it was here between these bathroom stalls that Logan and Tiana Abney promised each other forever. Now, you may be thinking there's a couple more romantic spots than this, but for this unconventional couple, this spot was perfect.
I wanted something a little different. Didn't want to just get married in a typical chapel or, go to the church. I wanted something fun to tell my kids, something funny, a good experience.
And that's when Hop Shop's employee Tiana Abney had a crazy idea.
And she was like, at the hop shop, and I'm like, well, that don't seem too bad. And she's like, the bathroom. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool too.
Now, this is no ordinary bathroom. In fact, it recently gained popularity for its disco-centric scene.
They got a button in every hop shop. You push it, the disco lights come on, and the music plays.
This feature was enough for groom Logan Abney to get on board.
Always was heard, it don't matter where you get married at, it's just the person you're with.
So, surrounded by family, friends, coworkers, and even customers, 23-year-old Tiana walked down the slushy aisle on Valentine's Day.
Seeing her in her wedding dress, she looked beautiful. It was just an emotional day.
I was a nervous wreck. I don't know why, because I knew we were going to get married. I guess I just thought something was going to go wrong.
But nothing did go wrong in that small gray restroom.
Wow.
It's the live shot you hope you never have to do. I'm reporting live from the men's room at a gas station.
What about that 270 overpass during a winter storm?
Yeah, that'd be even worse. You'd be outside.
How about the guy's syntax when he said, it doesn't matter?
I didn't like that. You suppose there was anyone in there using the restroom while this was going on?
What about when she was doing the live report? I mean,
it's tough.
Caleb Mandrake's stepdad says, I don't know why I was surprised that all the fat losers who listen to this show didn't believe my story about pegging. Who for more calories? And Iggy, shut up. Thanks, that's Caleb Mandrake's stepdad. Iggy hasn't been in the studio in like an hour.
I've been out since 9 o'clock. Well, shut up. What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
Not him.
The people getting married in restrooms?
Yeah, we wanted something different. Well, you could find something different than a bathroom at a Quick Trip.
Don't you know they called every TV station in town saying, hey, we're getting married in the bathroom. Hey, you might want to come out. We're getting married in the bathroom. Please, look at us.
And she didn't even introduce it right. And shop owner had a great idea. Well, she came to me, said you wanted to have it here. I said, great idea. You disagree with her. You didn't have an idea.
There's nothing better than reading your vows to your ride or die whilst looking over to the stall and watching a Hoosier giving himself an aneurysm, forcing out a twice-cooked helmet nacho log into a pungent bowl of vegetable broth. Douglas from Deekto.
Gosh.
You got time, Dotem. Get one together. As we sat on the stool, his brine starting to leak, and we heard, do you take this woman to be your bride? Oh, that got me even more excited. This is chocolatey fudge.
Okay, that's enough.
So naughty.
Susie, do you take Bill?
No, we don't
There
need
it
the
is,
sound.
sounds.
We don't
Gilstrap.
need the sound.
Hey, that'd been perfect for Gilstrap. I mean, come on. Something to tell our kids. We got married in a crapper.
Isn't this what you do if it was like your 5th or 6th wedding? And you're just really looking for a laugh and some attention? I mean, the girl's parents wouldn't have gone along with it if it'd been their daughter's first wedding, right?
We're taking photos outside of our favorite gas station for our wedding photos.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get married in it.
Conoco and Kings Highway?
Conoco Kings Highway.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
the Zamani family represent. They just had a Chuck's Hot Chicken open up right next door to the old.
Oh, I love me some Chuck's, Plowhawk.
That
Did they really
one-
open one right there on Kings
It
Highway?
literally just opened, Jackson. It's fire as all hell, dude.
I might be getting it today.
Unbelievable.
I was thinking about it about 10 minutes ago. This is so serendipitous, Doug.
Oh, my God.
Oh, the Chuck's Hot Chicken fries will pawn your hole.
Yeah, we got the
Hot
cheese
and
curds.
spicy?
Dip
Just a
those-
nice texture.
The cheese curds with the aioli sauce, Doug, it don't play. I
areola
flat out
sauce.
does not play. Aioli, not areola.
That would be a lactation, wouldn't it?
I think
yeah,
so. Is
that I
what
don't
you're
think
talking
can.
about?
The FDA is not going to approve
Areola
lactose
sauce.
sauce.
Did they have a disco theme in there?
They did not, but I love that gas station. Been going there for a long time. You get all my
You're
drinks.
really going to have your pictures taken?
100%. They got
That's
cool.
so good.
They
At
got
your wedding?
It's going to be my wedding photos. So, like, it'll
At
be
a gas
engagement
station.
photos. Absolutely. We're going to Donut Drive-In, represent the McKernans. I love Donut Drive-In. Go in
Thank
there
you.
every week.
Take one
So
to Normandy.
And actually not a bad idea. We're going to do that and I think O'Connell's as well. Just a couple of
Ooh,
St.
that's
Louis
a nice
hot
play, too.
spots
Oh,
that we
here's some
go
good
to.
spots you're going to.
The bathroom is a hot spot?
Peacemaker for sure. Went there last week and I take a photo out there because absolutely my favorite restaurant in St. Louis. So all of those, Doug. And the gas station is included. Got cool neon lights. So in the evening, it's going to look awesome.
Gaming machines in there.
We don't know. I don't know if we're going to go in. But we may just, we'll feel it by ear. But we know the owners very well there, so.
This is going to be between the wedding and the reception?
No, it's going to be our engagement photos.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't do Design Air Heating and Cooling's email the day yesterday because of our extended interviews with both Ed Herman and Kelly Chase. But we want to give it a good wide berth today, so we will do it now before Jackson and I go down the hallway and deal with the situation called Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day! God bless Chaser, most inspirational man I have ever heard. Now to the stupid email I wrote yesterday. Tim looked exceptionally handsome today. His flawless facial features reminded me that perfection is possible.
What's the email about?
Aaron Neville, not so much. Most people think that big old growth on his forehead is a birthmark. It's actually a prominent vein. But this email is about the weather. My bird feeder had a ton of activity this AM. That tells me it finna be windy. The animals are getting ready to hunker down. And I've always been fascinated with animals. Ever since that time I went to Noah's Ark and saved Charles. First time I ever heard a man smoke another man's sausage.
No.
Uncle Skip's drinking buddy Tony's cousin Kippy was in town. Kind of a doofus, big old Fred Flintstone head and feet. But had a serious game, a simple plan. Go after the ugliest guy in the crowd because they have low self-esteem and they will do anything to sexually satisfy you. Lo and behold, there was Kippy making out with the dishwasher, a real uggo. Took him up to Tony's conversion van. No windows meant no audience and no cries for help could be heard. Or so he thought. Tony had some lawn chairs, so we all sat in the parking lot listening to those squishy noises. Then muffled sounds of a cry for help. Later, Kippy popped out with a smile on his face, then dropped some knowledge. You miss 100% of the money shots you don't take. And then the guy came out with his hideous face drenched with Kippy's yabba gabba goo.
Oh.
His first name's Philip, and then his last name is Hisbit.
Philip, he's beat. He's beat.
And Young. Ken calling something lazy, then sharply inhaling into the mic whilst Doug, Tim, and Plow explained the importance of said thing was a core memory. Thanks, that's #1 Asian intern Brian Hedgen, a.k.a. ASMR Ting Ting 2.0. Find me on YouTube, subscribe, and tickle that bell for notifications to receive early access to my next Whisper vid, wherein I whisper through the transcript of that one middle-aged sad's unhinged 25-minute video on the pin that no one, and I mean absolutely no one, asked for. The sad have run amok. Hashtag creepy. Doug, did you see a transcript of a middle-aged
I really
on Hinge 25-minute video?
Sorry I missed it, but missed it I did. Brian Henson.
And Young, is Caleb Mandrake's stepdad actually the Bang Bang guy? Any hoodles, I think he was itching for a suspension, hearkening back to callers of yore. And for that, he has nothing to hang his head about, but his bit face planted, and he made a complete ass of himself. Pivoting off that topic, I'd let you peg me, Mr. Tim. You can dress up like Doug or wear an oversized Missy Elliott carrying the stench of stale smoke jacket. Whatever you want, boo. I just want you inside of me. Thanks, and Doug, I want you to think about that. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henson, but your wife knows him better as Ken Play, the sexy sexologist from down South Dakota way.
Brian Henson, point 2.
No email of the day yesterday, so save this one for today. What was my favorite moment from the show yesterday? You know, I can't pick just one, so here's my Mount Rushmore. George Washington, the guy who wears it like a badge of honor that he proudly discarded trash on the airport floor because he knew a lowly janitor could come by to pick it up and just needed a polite, knowing bow from his Asian neighbor to justify ransacking his apartment couldn't wrap his brain around why someone would rake a bunker when they, quote, didn't have to. My Abe Lincoln, Doug admiring that his kink is necrophilia, soon followed by Jackson faintly yelling Helen Mirren into the abyss with absolutely no reaction or acknowledgement for the next 30 to 45 seconds. Luckily, Tim threw a yellow life preserver and brought it back up. William Howard Taft. William Howard Taft's on Mount Rushmore? I didn't know
No, he is not.
The B-craw discussion. You know what they say, if you've got two approaching 40 left-handed bench guys who were all-stars in the Obama administration, you've got none. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's on Mount Rushmore?
No, he's not there either.
Peanut farmer.
When the biggest badass to play professional sports in this city burst into the pisser-adjacent hostage booth and immediately began accosting everyone and intimidated the title sponsor into leaving immediately, which actually ended up being great because the vulnerable, heartfelt, emotional discussion that followed was some of the most riveting or captivating radio I've ever heard in a long time. What a terrible read by me. Keep Fighting 39. That's from Blueberry Pop Pop.
Blueberry Pop Pop.
Last fall, I had a misconnection, and I was wondering if you guys could help me out. I attended a Nipper Middle School fundraiser square dance with my brother-in-law and father-in-law, and the night started out a little slow until I had to unleash the beast in the men's room. As I was standing at the urinal looking down, I noticed an alligator skin cowboy boot with spurs tapping like the Dickens. So started to tap, and wouldn't you know it, this absolute stud of a man walked out of the stall wearing a cowboy hat, flannel, and some Wranglers that were so tight it looked like he had to jump off his roof to get into them. That's what people do. They jump off the roof.
No, they don't.
He walked over and whispered into my ear, "Do you want to make like a tree and get out of here? I have a white LeBaron convertible in the parking lot." He had a beautiful smell of Stetson and Arnold Palmer's, so I couldn't say no. Unfortunately, when I went out to tell my father-in-law I was going to leave with a man, he had a few questions, and I couldn't find the stud's car in the parking lot. He must have left. Please let me know, Doug, if you were at that fundraiser. Thanks. That's Grimy from South County.
Grimy from South County. I did not make that fundraiser.
The TMA fan page has a real situation on its hands here, folks. Jackson is getting dragged for liking "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Jackson is also getting criticized for liking basketball. And hold on, Jackson is getting dragged some more for not appreciating a hockey game that happened 44 years ago. Leave Pringle alone, damn it. He's catching enough heat from those rec league refs. He doesn't need to be judged by unemployed dumbs on a social media site dedicated to a show that routinely struggles to actually broadcast over the air. In other fan page news, someone chugging Ice House beers. Are Ice House beers still around?
I don't know. I don't have it.
Ice House beers. Someone chugging Ice House beers. Hold on a second.
Write a better sentence before you send it in.
This is on me. Hold on. Another fan page news. Someone chugging Ice House beers thought it would be a good idea to post a quick little 13-minute drunken diatribe about the Supreme Court.
Jeez, I don't see that.
What's he upset about?
God love him, the fella clearly has a big heart. But I thought I stumbled upon the Romp Show for a minute. In fan page sex news, a 61-year-old realtor keeps posting pictures of his crotch.
Oh.
But this doesn't even crack the current top 5 most memorable things happening on Facebook. Not to be outdone, one of the 3 females on the page posted a picture of her barely concealed bosom nearly spilling out of a sports bra. So, yeah, I guess you could say the fan page is really hitting its stride.
Yeah, what that is.
Sadly, the Bang Bang Niner Gang dude is a distant memory at this point, which is a real shame. Here is my prediction. Someone will post pictures of their naked dong or gaping brown hole in the next few weeks. The TMA fan page will ultimately be shut down entirely sometime in the next 6 months. However, there is one man sitting alone in his Maryland Heights masturbatorium who can save us. One man can make the fan page great again. Come on, Iggy, do the right thing and reclaim your throne as the king of the fan pin. Our entire survival rests on your injured shoulder. That's in the JV golf coach.
How
Iggy,
about it?
What do you think? What do you say?
No, I'm kind of glad they don't have to go on there and see naked, tatted up boobs, starve for attention.
What if it were to save the fan page by you going on there?
What about the Ice House video?
There's nothing to save that page. There's nothing you do to save that page.
Put that in the skeleton.
100% with Iggy.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Morning, guys, and whoever sat in Iggy's vacant seat for the 9 o'clock hour, was that another new producer or the new Gino or something? Anyways, I'm here at Normandy for the free round of golf I won from Text of the Day in 2019 when Pete refused to include postage on the T-shirt I won, so he said to meet at the oldest and roughest putt-putt course this side of the Mississippi on this date as an alternative prize. He mentioned we'd all be playing together, so I'm assuming you guys are running late, or maybe Plowsy is firing off another round of mud missiles in the single-shooter bathroom you guys have attached to your podcast Litterbox studio. I guess just let me know. Thanks. That's Gus Grundlehort. Tilly is scrapbooking in Alton today with her girlfriends and Calvin May. Probably going to take a couple photos of skiing squirrels and an eagle at lunchtime. Gus Grundlehort.
Gus Grundlehort.
And I hope to see a picture of me and my friends, the Grundleharts.
And finally, ours is the type of presentation where listeners feel free to drop in at any time and regale us with secondhand tales of getting pegged by a lass wearing khakis and a dress shirt. You think Caleb Mandrake's stepdad woke up this morning and looked at himself in the mirror and said, today is the day. I assume he'll win Listener of the Month, and by this time next month, he'll be posting extended nonsensical monologues to the fan page while he pounds Bud Ice. There must be a video on the
deal
fan
with Bud
page.
Ice?
I don't know. I thought it was Ice House. Is it Bud Ice?
I don't know what it is.
Remember Bud Dry? Remember
There
Bud
used to be
Dry?
a Bud Ice a long time ago. I don't think they make it anymore.
Oh, it'll be a fly on the wall in the meeting where Cooking with Ken is pitched to Hubbard Radio. So it's a cooking show where the host says he doesn't need to get paid. As long as Hubbard makes money, he's happy. Sometimes Ken has a female co-host behind the camera who showcases Ken's decorative butt plug and dildo collection prominently displayed in his living room. Ken explains that she's just his lady friend and he's never banged her, but not for lack of trying. And when she complains it's warm in the kitchen, Ken will often suggest she take her clothes off. Typically, there's a smoke break out in the patio where Ken bitches about his immigrant neighbors, and if we're lucky, there's an awkward conversation with someone walking their dog. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get out of here and get home to clear my browser history in case my niece's husband comes over and uses my computer. I don't want him to know about my searches for Minwoo Lee OnlyFans leaks and all the Ladyboy videos I watch when they pop up on xnxx.com. I don't care if he sees my realistic penis dildos with veins and stuff, but he sees what kind of porn I publicly admit to watching on a daily basis, then he'll think I'm some kind of pervert. Doug, that's Buck Swope. And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Buck Swope. There were a number of them that were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens.
I'm going to go right back to the beginning. Philip Hisbit gets my vote. Philip?
Yeah, I had him checked, and I didn't check anybody else after that, so Kevin Miller can
Kevin Miller's taken a 1-goal lead on Buck Swope, and he heads into Leap Day with the lead. How amazing is it that if this were a normal year, Kevin Miller would have just won the month?
It's a really, truly amazing.
And now, instead, Buck Swope gets that Leap Day to capitalize. But you won't be here tomorrow, and you tend to be his go-to as far as a vote goes. That's going to be tough for him to win tomorrow.
Well, KG will get a vote, right?
I guess Jackson will be in.
Jackson. I feel bad for Kevin Miller. He got screwed. There should be an asterisk next to this, only because of leap year.
Taylor Gooch.
Yeah.
Taylor Gooch, Doug.
What the hell's that mean?
If you know, you know.
That's right.
Well, yeah, but don't let anyone else in on it.
Is this his comments on the Masters?
Yeah.
We can talk about it tomorrow.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's that much to keep people waiting 21 hours.
No, it's good tease.
People wanting more.
Then we keep the audience wanting more. Speaking of which, Jackson and I are going to go in a hallway, and we'll see what comes up for the next hour. That's the
you'll
tease.
get through it.
But we're
You'll be
looking forward
fine.
to seeing where it goes.
That's coming up, and then Jackson and I will return into this studio for QFTA at approximately 11:30. You can watch that and participate in the chat at youtube.com/TMASTL. So put that in your phone, save it, and the next thing you know, you're part of the Friend of the Feathers who watch and listen to the Tim McKernan Show podcast.
They're going to run into my cooking show?
I don't think it could, though. I could go 9 hours since we didn't do one Monday or Tuesday. Doug, enjoy your vacation, sir.
Well, I'll
You're
try.
back next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Bring back some souvenirs.
And some
I'm
souvenirs.
not bringing you back souvenirs.
For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.